Welcome to Golden Bear Stadium, campus of Bryan High School. Helene has decided to visit us here tonight. Pretty breezy, a little bit of rain, and it's not going to let up all night as we gather for the 100th meeting between the Bryan Golden Bears and the Tigers from Liberty Center. Bryan leads the all-time series 51, 43, and 5, but Liberty Center's won the last 4, ranked number 3 in the state coming in here tonight. It's the Oberlin-Turnbull countdown to kickoff. Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, family-owned, family-focused. We had a chance to chat with Bryan head coach Scott Staten, and you'll hear that after this timeout on the Golden Bears Sports Network.
Discover top-quality healthcare education at Northwest State. Our instructors have real-world experience, so they know how to prepare you for great career opportunities. Northwest State, where you'll get the top-quality healthcare education you need to succeed.
Nobody likes an awkward silence. You can actually use it for something good.
You haven't really been yourself lately. Are you okay?
Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.
Welcome back out on the Golden Bears Sports Network. Chris Malanga alongside Coach Scott Staten of the Bryan Golden Bears. And first off, Coach, our condolences to you on the loss of your dad.
Yeah. You know, it's always something that we're kind of training for each and every day. You know, he instilled a lot of the stuff that I take to the field coaching, and definitely got to be able to preach to the kids about handling adversity every day, and we're living it.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about that Patrick Henry game. You know, Patrick Henry came out, you know, and you guys just didn't really execute. And again, it was situations where you know the kids are capable of doing it. You know that you've taught them well. It's just when it comes to execution, it makes it rough.
Yeah, I think it's again, we're seeing similar stuff we've talked about all along. It's just we have to find a way to tighten things up. You know, one of the examples we showed the kids on a counter play that we ran, we weren't able to run it successfully because they had too much penetration on the defensive line. And that's why we couldn't run it. Later on, we run the same exact play against the same exact front, and we close down the front side. We have a great kick-out lead against the same exact kids, and we break one off for 12 yards up the middle. So it's just consistency, like just seeing our guys consistently get those blocks and know our assignments. Is
it's just because of that youth, you're starting so many younger kids that maybe they haven't grasp those concepts just yet?
Yeah, I think that's a big thing up front anyways. I mean, we have 2 returning starters up front, and they just haven't quite gelled yet. You know, Lucas Reed playing right guard, he's probably not going to be a right guard after this year. He knows that. He's just got to fill that spot right now. It hurts a lot with some of those key injuries that we forget about, like Cooper Beltran not playing right tackle. So now you have Hogan playing out of position at right tackle instead of right guard, and now you have a running back playing guard. Like, that's just still hasn't gone away, and it won't go away until we get healthy. And you go against a team like PH, who has 4 guys up front that know their position, they know their assignment, they played there for multiple years, and they're really, really talented, and they just expose any weakness you have immediately.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it doesn't get any easier this week. You've got Liberty Center coming to town, and this is a team that is undefeated in the league. They've had a huge success at tradition. Large team as far as numbers go. Yeah, there's a lot of things to look at that team and go, that's a tough team.
Yeah, I think one nice thing with us playing PH and LC back to back is all the stuff that we're preaching here and the things that we're trying to build around a program. We get to look at that stuff live for 2 weeks in a row. Like, that's who we want to be. That's where we want to get to have that deep rooted tradition here and build a program, like truly build a program, not just have a good season when you have good athletes. Because you don't see that at PH or LC. You see consistency across the board, where I feel like here, you know, just everyone, you know, kind of looks at it, or we even look at it like, oh, we just don't have the guys this year. You have to build a tradition and build a program, and that's what those two schools have done. So it's been really good for our players to see that we can point it out and go, like, this is what happened. Like, this kid is really, really strong kid. Like, look at his numbers, how big he is, his size. Those are things that we have to get taken care of in the off season. So. You know, yeah, again, looking at LC on film, I mean, they're impressive. They're impressive up front. Their linebackers are unbelievable. They're so aggressive downhill players that they make up for maybe some of the D-line that's not as big and physical as they were last year.
So when you look at Liberty Center, what are we going to see from them?
We're going to see that primarily a 3-man front again, like when we're looking at their defense, and they run like a 3-5 concept, and they're bringing pressure from everywhere. which, again, it's going to be a challenge for us because what did we just talk about? We have youth up front, and we have guys that aren't used to playing next to each other or in the correct position. So you're talking about 3 down linemen that are going to slant and angle every play, and then you have 5 backers that can come from anywhere on the field and blitz and bring pressure. So we're going to have to communicate up front, and I'm sure with them knowing Rhett's back there being a freshman, they're going to bring every exotic blitz they can dream up this week. We just got to be able to pick it up. Like, our offensive line needs to step up so that they can help him out and give him some time. And there's some holes in their secondary that I think we can hit. It's just we got to see that next step. We got to see that next step in our passing game. We got to get back to the fundamentals up front, but we got to be able to move the football offensively.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you see from them offensively that's going to face your defense?
They can score from anywhere. I mean, they can run. I mean, it's the same Liberty Center offense every year. They try to spread it out a little bit more here and there, but basic same concepts. But you're going to see them, run traditional buck sweeps to the outside, and they're going to bring a whole caravan. You're going to see them go out of some gun and run the quarterback, and he can throw it as well. You're going to see 2 different quarterbacks getting some reps in there. So they're just really good at exposing your weaknesses. They just keep plugging away, much like Delta did, and then they go.
Any injuries or anything we have to worry about this week?
We should be good. We're a little dinged up, but I think those guys will be able to play on Friday.
All right. Well, we wish you the best of luck as you face the Tigers. A tough test, but consistency and do your best, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Get better every day.
All right. Coach Scott Staten here on the Golden Bears Sports Night. We're going to take this timeout, come back with kickoff after this.
The Bryan Parks and Recreation Department would like to wish the Bryan Golden Bears good luck in tonight's game. The Bryan Parks and Rec offers a wide variety of classes for you during the entire year and an array of sporting events all year long. Check out what the Bryan Parks and Recreations Department has going on at bryanparksandrec.com or like them on Facebook. The Bryan Parks and Rec hopes to see you in one of the many parks that Bryan has to offer and enjoy the facilities. Questions about the classes or rental of one of their facilities, call 633-6030.
The Bryan Athletic Boosters would like to wish all the student athletes the best of luck in all their sports this year. The Boosters are proud of your commitment to becoming Bryan built. It takes a lot of time and dedication to play sports and be the best student you can be at the same time. Good luck this year. The Bryan Athletic Boosters would also like to thank all of their corporate and individual patron supporters this year as well. It takes everyone to make a community and to become Bryan built.
Welcome back here to Golden Bear Stadium. Thanks to our sponsors tonight, the Bryan Athletic Boosters, Bryan Parks and Rec, Northwest State Community College, Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, Veteran Services of Williams County, Andres O'Neill and Lowe, the Danielle Van Atta Agency, Krill Funeral Home, Starks Plumbing and Heating, and the Thiel Supply Company. And still looking, we will take sponsors all year long for football, basketball, all the sports. Get a hold of Chris, and we will be sure to get you hooked up. Busy night around the area tonight, looking around the NWOAL. Liberty Center 5-0 leads the conference. PH 4-1. They're 2-0 in the conference. They host Wauseon tonight. Wauseon 2-0 in the conference, 2-3 overall. Delta 1-1, 4-1 overall. They host Swanton. Archibald 1-1, 3-2. They're at Evergreen. Evergreen 0-2 in the conference, 2-3 overall, and then us and Swanton 0-2 and 0-5. And we've got LC. Swanton goes to Delta. Something's got to break here pretty soon, partner.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see what happens tonight. Crazy. I will say this. I think no secret. Liberty Center is a favorite tonight. These games, a little bit of a game of, I'm going to call it a game of polar opposites tonight. You got Liberty Center sitting at 5-0, Bryan at 0-5. Liberty Center's experienced, Bryan a little bit more inexperienced. Liberty Center doesn't allow a lot of points. 14 points allowed all season long. Bryan, on the other hand, been held scoreless for the last 2 games, 28 points all year. Here's the thing, though. It's raining, a little windy. Is that the equalizer tonight? I don't know. Crazier things have happened, okay? Again, there's no secret. LC is the favorite tonight. If you're Bryan, just come in here, play loose, have fun, and see what happens.
One of the things I told Jim today when I did my 10 o'clock thing with Thunderberg was I've gone into games where we were 3, 4, 5 touchdown favorites and got beat.
Yep.
I went into a game that we were 3, 4, 5 touchdown underdogs and pulled out a win. And, what happens is being on both sides of that equation is when you should be winning and you're not, it gets frustrating. And you do stupid things, and you start to press. And when you are, suddenly you're in a game that you didn't think you're going to be in, it's amazing. It's kind of like Superman, man. You just have all this energy and things just click. So there's a reason we play the game on the field. Whether it's Friday nights, whether it's Saturday afternoons, whether it's Sunday afternoons. Upsets happen all the time, and it's why we play the game on the field.
Absolutely, and these are a bunch of 14 to 18-year-olds, and that's the thing. It starts between the eyes, right? Between the eyes, that mentality. And again, a couple of things start to go Brian's way in this ball game. Does that snowball start to roll? And that's like, okay, hey, we're doing this right, and we're hanging with the number 3 team
in the state
right now. So, like I said, crazier things have happened, and we'll see what the Bears can do tonight here at the top of the hour.
But when you look at this Liberty Center team, they are number 3 in the state. They have the number 5 defense through all divisions, and they've played the 28th toughest schedule. This team is loaded for Bear, but most schools are here to play for Week 11. Week 11 doesn't mean anything to Liberty Center. Week 12. If you're not playing on Week 16, when you're a Liberty Center team, when you're a South Range, when you're an Ironton, and that's 1, 2, 3 in Division 5, if you're not playing Week 15 or 16, your season's a failure.
Yep.
And so, truly, for teams like that, games like tonight don't matter.
Yeah. Because that's what they're building for. I mean, you look at the last 3-4 years for them. You lose in the state championship last year. I mean, they basically ran the table until they ran into that Perry team and played them down to the wire. So state championship last year, we're in the state championship game last year. In the state semis the year before that, lost to the eventual state champion. They lose in the regional finals to the eventual state champion. So in the last 3 seasons, the last game of their season was a loss to the eventual state champion. That's the standard over there, and so they've built a heck of a program.
4 out of the last 6 years, they've been into at least the semis and lost to the eventual state champion.
Yeah, it's just incredible.
That's a program, and that's one of the things you heard in the coaches show. That that's what coach is about here. It'd be great to have a great season, but what he wants is this, where you are a program every year, and people look at your schedule and go, "Uh-oh, here come the Golden Bears." We don't want them. We don't want any part of them. And people are looking at Week 11 and 12 and going, all right, do we want to win on Week 10? Because if we win on Week 10, we're playing Bryan in Week 11. We don't want that. That's what you want to build and what you want to get to. But if you look at this Liberty Center team on the season, 45.4 points a game, 2.8 allowed, 14 total points in 5 games.
Just unreal. That's all I got to say.
It
absolutely incredible. I mean, one you I hate to say kind of expect with the schedule they've played thus far for them to score a lot of points, but it's tough for any defense to allow less than a touchdown per game, and they're allowing less than a field goal
per game.
Less than a field goal per game. That's absolutely incredible.
Started out with a 38-0 win over Tenorum, then beat Napoleon 31-7, beat Otsego 37-7. So in weeks 2 and 3, they gave up a touchdown. Archbold, they beat 51-0. Swanton, they won 70-0. So when I look at their NWOAL, that's 121 points. They're averaging 60.5 points a game and giving up a big fat 0.
Yeah.
That's what they bring to the table. That's just a solid team all the way around. And you look at this year's roster, and we're not calling all of the same names that we called last year. They just reload.
Yep. Well, because now that's, again, we looked at the last 3, 4, 5, 6 years. That's the expectation there. And so those kids know that. They understand that, and that's what they strive for, and that's why you see, you talk about building that culture and that sustained, not just a flash in the pan, you had a good season here, a good season there. It is now, this is the process and the standard. You play to the process, you play to the standard, you don't play down to competition, things like that. That's what they've said over there is this is our process, this is our standard, and those kids strive for that, and that's how you build a sustained success over 5-6 years. And it doesn't matter what kind of classes you have coming in. Some may be a little more talented than others, things like that, but that evens out because you know what? We follow the process. We have a standard.
And for the Golden Bears, they're looking to get their offense on track. Scored on the first drive of the season, and then since then have put up a total of 20 points over 4 games, nothing in the last 2. Brian's going to want to to get points on the board any way they can tonight.
Absolutely, and you have to be opportunistic and take chances. At this point, okay, yes, the weather is maybe not favorable to taking chances. Okay, it's going to be, you have a blustery wind. You got to take advantage when it's at your back. Okay, there's going to be, for Bryan, they're going to have it the first and third quarter. Liberty Center won the toss and took the ball. So Bryan has the wind at their back in the first and third quarter, and that's going to have to be huge for them. Take advantage of those opportunities. So when they have the football, take chances. Get down the field, maybe a couple trick plays. Again, with the rain, wind, okay, is it always conducive to that? No. But you hit one of those plays, that fires up that sideline, that fires up the fans in the stands, that fires up everybody, and those are the momentum plays that you're going to have tonight.
And even looking at the band out on the field, you see streamers on a couple of the band folks that are flying definitely to one end of the field. So wind is going to be a huge factor here tonight. For the Golden Bears, lost to Van Wert to open the season 48-8. Maumee, they lost 56-14, 34-0 to Fairview, 35-0 to Delta, and 39-0 to Patrick Henry. We're going to send it away for this break, and we will come right back with our keys to the game and our starters. You're on the Golden Bears Sports Network.
Rooting on the Golden Bears is a tradition that brings us all together.
Just like the sports we love, another tradition has stood the test of time. Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, since 1922, we've been part of the community, supporting you in the moments of celebration and loss.
Just like a team, we understand the value of traditions and the love that binds us together.
So whether it's cheering for a win or celebrating a life well lived, remember we are here for you.
Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory. Family owned, family focused.
Here at the Williams County Veteran Service Office, our mission is plain and simple. We are here to serve our local Williams County veterans and their dependents. We are staffed with trained service officers who have the compassion and understanding to assist their fellow veterans in obtaining all federal and state benefits that they have earned. Additionally, we provide emergency financial assistance and transportation to VA medical centers. So if you're a veteran or a dependent of a veteran, stop in today and see how we can help you at the Williams County Veteran Service Office.
Welcome back here to Golden Bear Stadium. Our Carlin Company keys to the game. Carlin Company Realty and Auctioneers has been your hometown real estate company for over 45 years. They've consistently remained number one in Williams County and the surrounding area since 2007. Call us for all of your real estate needs. Taking a look at keys here tonight, partner, for the Golden Bears. You got to protect Rhett. We saw last week lots of blitzes coming from PH that we didn't pick up well. I was incredibly impressed with the young man. A, he didn't lose the ball, and B, he got back up. He got blindsided by two All-Ohio players on almost back-to-back plays. And like you said in the beginning, you've got to take those shots down the field.
Yep.
If we've got a chance, you got to take it. And nobody in this place expects Bryan to win.
No.
All the pressure's on the other guy. You play with freedom tonight. You go out. This is one, and every coach I've ever had, I'm sure everyone you ever had, one of the last things they say leaving the locker room is have fun.
Yep.
And you know what? Tonight, this is sandlot ball. This is have fun and play with that kind of freedom that you get.
I was going to say a little bit, but I'm going to use a basketball analogy, junk ball. Play a little junk ball tonight.
Yeah.
Have fun. Throw in a few wrinkles tonight. Throw in something they haven't seen. And you know, if it doesn't work, so
what?
Be it. Lay it all out on the field tonight. Throw them every wrinkle that you got. You got the rain, you got the wind. You're going to take advantage of a little bit of that equalizer, and you roll the dice, and maybe you look up in the fourth quarter and you're in this ball game, and you never know what can happen after that.
And for the Tigers from Liberty Center,
number one goal for them. They're playing for Week 15 and Week 16. I mean, that's their standard. That's their process. They got to stay healthy tonight. They want to come out of here with no injuries. Don't get behind the eight ball. Don't hurt yourself with penalties. Okay, they again are an offense. Yeah, they'll throw the ball here and there, but they're predicated on running the football. They don't want to get behind the sticks, so don't hurt yourself with penalties. And then again, work on any of those wrinkles that you might want for weeks 14 and 15 and so on and so forth. Get them on film, make teams game plan for them, and that way it's something else for, hey, they got this play in their back pocket, and tonight would be a good night for Liberty Center to do just that.
And if you're working out the wrinkles and throwing in a couple of trick plays or a couple of gadget plays, if it's 4 or 5 games in a row that they're beating players 35, 40, 50, 70 to nothing, when you get to week 13 or 14 and you've got film, the film you're going to watch isn't against Swanton. You're not going to watch them in a 70 to nothing game. So tonight, you bring some of those things out and you try it. I agree, partner. That is the thing we do. Our game officials tonight, Brought to you by Tri-State Vision Center, serving the area since 1977. Contact us at either our Bryan or Montpelier offices for all of your eye care needs. James McDermott is in the white hat. James Worthy, Michael Blazevich, Daryl Phillips Sr., and Andrew Moser are the rest of his crew here tonight. That'll be hopefully not throwing a lot of flags. Did you watch any of the game last night?
I did not.
Al
Maybe fortunately or unfortunately, I don't know.
Al Michaels, just before halftime, or coming out of halftime, looked at Herb Street and said, so what do you make of this first half other than there was no flow because the referees had to order new flags from Amazon? When you're 81 years old and you're Al Michaels, you can get away with saying that.
You sure can.
So we hope tonight that there's not a lot of yellow on the field. This has been your Oberlin-Turnbull countdown to kickoff. Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, family-owned and family-focused. We will be right back with our starting lineups and our national anthem after this word from our sponsors.
Discover great job skills training at Northwest State. With over 50 different programs available, there is something for everyone. Providing hands-on training and education is the community college advantage.
There are a lot of ways to reach out to a friend about their mental health. Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
Welcome back here to Golden Bear Stadium tonight for our national anthem, sponsored by the Veteran Services of Williams County as we're getting ready for tonight's national anthem. The band on the field in all of their rain gear, rain coming in. Wind is blowing pretty strong right to left. We'll get you an actual weather report here just after our national anthem. Oh, here come the Tigers onto the field. We're going to wait a couple seconds for a national anthem. So while we're waiting for the national anthem, why don't we get you our weather report at kickoff. 70 degrees, feels like 70 degrees. Rain, wind is 19 miles an hour and gusting to 35.
Coaches, as we honor our great country, singing and the playing of our national anthem.
Getting ready to tee things up here. The Golden Bears will be kicking off from right to left. Have the wind at our back here in the first quarter. In warm-ups today, Jacob Uran was hitting 50-yard field goals. So from the 40-yard line, was hitting 50-yard field goals with ease. As the Golden Bears went into the locker room, they always get into their punt formation, and Uran boots the ball deep, and everyone runs downfield. We had our return man on the 5. He ended up almost at the goalpost. The wind is a big deal. Moving across the field right to left.
It is howling out there. I'll say when you got the wind at your back, obviously a great thing. You're going to be able to throw the ball a little better. You're going to be able to kick better, both in the punt game and the kick game. Okay. The other way, it could be quite the adventure throwing the football and punts. We're going to see how much that wind is a factor, not only for the punter, But for the return man and being able to field punts, that's something. Okay, you're looking up into the lights, into the lights with the rain and the wind swirling like it is. That makes fielding punts real difficult. So we'll see how many punts are actually fielded with the wind, going against you.
And so many players today play with the visor, and the visor in weather like this isn't helpful.
Oh, it's horrible. These are I was one of those guys that wore a visor, and every time it rained, that visor came right off because you can't see anything.
No.
You can see nothing, and you almost need little windshield wipers up there, and they obviously don't make those or allow those. So you got to take the visor off tonight, okay? If not, you're going to be spending the whole game trying to wipe it with a towel, and the towel also gets wet because guess what? It's raining.
It's raining.
So it's also ineffective. Just take the visor off.
And tonight, mini cheer night here at Golden Bear Stadium. So look at all the future Golden Bear cheerleaders all out on the track. Going to be a fun night for them. Great stories as they're going to be able to cheer in the rain. Back deep for Liberty Center. Cam Kale and JT Olgrug back deep. Coach didn't send me his return guys. I got the rosters, but not the return guys.
One thing he didn't send you.
Didn't send me his return guys. Jacob Uran teeing it up. The other thing we'll have to look at as this game goes on, because the wind is expected to get stronger, we'll see if we haven't had it for a couple of years, somebody having to hold a kickoff.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have to look for that. And then really, we talked about with the rain, field conditions, okay? It is turf, okay? So we're not going to have the muddy mess that we've seen, here in the past with some different games. But again, this is the first game this season that both these teams have played on wet, slick turf. So we'll see how that is a factor tonight in this ball game.
And they haven't even done a lot of practice at it. Here's the boot, little line drive. It's going to go through the end zone for a touchback.
And to say, you see already on that first opening kickoff, that ball that hit about the maybe 10, 12-yard line and just
took
skipped
off right in the end zone.
Right in the end
exactly.
zone. And that had more giddy up to it once it hit the turf than it normally does.
So this Liberty Center offense, they will throw it from time to time, but mostly they want to pound the ball at you. They want to keep running at you all night long. It's what they do. It's what they are made for.
And I think that's what Brian's got to do tonight. Pack the box. Make them beat you up over top. Put 8, 9 guys in the box and go from there.
You got quarterback under center, fullback behind him, and it's the quick hitter up the middle. Brought down, going to get about 5 on the play. Nice start here by the Golden Bear defense, holding that quick hitter that was just so torturous with us for Delta. For the Golden Bears on defense tonight, Logan Carter, Kate Spizak, Carter Sickle, Jacob Uran up front, Damian Wolf, Lucas Reed, Vincent Taylor at linebacker with Aiden Wallace, Cade Carlin, Easton Kerr, and Anthony Weber are back on your defensive backs. Here comes a handoff this way, cuts up the middle at the 40, cuts to the outside to the 50, into Bryan territory, dragged down at the 40-yard line. Nice carry on that play by Thomas Moeller. Hogan tracked him down, but after a long gain on the play. And again, you saw a slip right there. Aiden Wallace had him lined up, broke down, and the feet just didn't stay.
Yeah, and just a good move there. And again, the field conditions are so it's going to play into the offensive advantage because they know where they're going.
They know where they're going, exactly. I've always said, you see the Golden Bears packing the box, a 4-4 with only 3 defensive backs. Back to pass, throws it out into the flat, just out of the reach of his receiver. Pass was intended that time for Garrison Cruz. And again, another Cruz brother out there, or a cousin or something. Who knows?
And I tell you right there, I think this early in this ball game, he has him open in the flat. And I think on a normal night when the ball's not a little bit slick, it's a little bit wet out there, he probably completes that pass, but just out of his reach, just a little off target there. And I think maybe a little bit due to the wet ball.
Grady Miller has 2 wing backs, a fullback. Cruz goes in motion. They're going to pitch it to him over the right-hand side. Nice kick-out block, but he ran into his blocker. Really nice kick-out that block by Hammondtree, but he ran into the back of him. 3rd and 9, gets them out of their system. This is exactly what the Golden Bears want.
Absolutely. Okay, I would say very, very within the first couple minutes of this ball game, a crucial. We got a penalty on the Tigers there. A dead ball after the fact. This can back up another 15.
I'm not sure what the penalty was. I didn't see the signal, and I didn't hear the official. But it was a 15-yarder.
So I'm gonna guess some kind
But
of.
it was a dead ball after the play, so that
extra-
should be third down. That should be third down. Winding the clock. Not sure. The chain still up at second, but it was dead. I'm not sure if it was a dead ball before the play or after the play. So right now we're going with second down and a mile. Little double reverse action coming this way. Going to be Cruz again. Gets outside the seam, inside the 30, inside the 20. Brought down at the 15-yard line finally by Anthony Weber. A little reverse action that time. The time on the clock on our screen is not right. I'll try to give you your main stops on Northwest Ohio scoreboard as we can. 10:30 to go here in the first quarter, not 6:26. And we've got another penalty on the play, back at the 40.
Offense, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
And a 10-yard penalty going to back him up again.
Third down because the prior play was a dead ball foul. That was third down. It's now third down again.
Got the explanation from the official was a dead ball after the play on the previous play, so the down counted. So it was third down and a country mile. Now it's just second down and an area code.
Yes, and now back to third down and
Right,
another area code.
Third down and area code now. So it's third down 21.
And two crucial penalties here early in this ball game for the Tigers.
Goes in motion. They're going to fake it, throw it out into the flat. Juggled, caught by Cruz, wrapped up by the Golden Bears and brought down. I see Carlin on the tackle and Anthony Weber on the tackle. Damian Wolf was also over there, brings up fourth down and 11. We talked about it in the pregame for this Tiger team. The one thing they cannot do that they're notorious for, quite honestly, is shooting themselves in the foot and getting bad penalties.
Yep, and again here
25 yards in penalties here on
already
the first drive.
early in this ball game, and again in third and forever, and now a fourth and long. Bears got to get a stop here.
Yep, getting off the field on 4th and 11 is a big deal. Miller back in the shotgun, gets a snap, rolls to this side, turns his shoulders, fires, incomplete. Golden Bears will take over. That was about as perfect of a defensive stand that the Golden Bears could have hoped for in the first quarter.
I tell you what, you couldn't have scripted a first drive any better if you're the Golden Bears. Okay, you let up a couple big plays. Liberty Center shoots themselves in the foot a couple times. Okay, they get a big 15-yarder dead ball after the fact, 10-yard penalty on a holding call that would have given them the first down in the red zone. In the red zone, and Bryan gets 2 stops and now gets to take the ball over on offense and see what they can do.
Now this Liberty Center defense, they're officially a 3-3, probably a 3-5. They're going to come at you from every direction. We're going to go jet sweep. Anthony Weber coming this way, picks his way outside the 40 to about the 43, gain of about 4 on the play. Defense, or the offense for the Golden Bears, going to look really familiar. Carter, Spizak, Longoria, Reed, and Hogan across the front. Weber and Wallace are your wideouts. Cade Carlin in the slot. Rhett McGill, the freshman at quarterback, and Damian Wolf behind him at running back, or beside him in some ways. Moving Weber to the slot, putting Carlin out wide to the right. Going to try to pass. Pressure comes. McGill dances around. He's got green grass to the 50. Going to head out of bounds. Hit very close to something that would have been another 15. Rents on the tackle but it's a first down. First down for the Golden Bears inside Liberty Center territory. And I tell you what, if Mr. McGill would have gotten one more step, that would have been 15 more.
It sure would have been, yeah. He was heading out of bounds there. Caught him just in bounds. Good clean hit there from the Tigers.
And got to be honest, partner, that's one where if there weren't 25 yards of penalties on the first drive, they may have thrown that one anyway because that was a quarterback. Weber going in motion. Going to be Wolf coming back this way. He's got a hole up the middle, inside the 40, inside the 35 to about the 34. Another Golden Bear first down. Kale on the tackle for Liberty Center.
Yeah, and that hole just opened up nicely for Damian Wolf, able to get right up the middle, get to the second level for a nice gain of 14 there.
Well, one of the things that I've noticed about this Liberty Center team in the past and this year, they give you a lot of eye candy, and a lot of eye candy that means nothing, which means a lot of motion that doesn't have anything to do with the play. Golden Bears run the jet sweep on the first play, fake it on that one, and you get a big hold of Wolf. Little quick pass, you got Carter Dominic, incomplete, and if we see that on the welding construction replay, not sure if we've got it, but if we see it in college, that's a 15.
I think so, partner.
That came up awfully high.
Awfully high to, I'm going to say at that point, a defensive player coming across the middle.
Exactly.
I don't know if we'll get it on replay or not, but
it shows you what this Liberty Center team's all about. They're all about being physical. They want to intimidate you as much as they do beat you. You got a 2-by-1, 2 receivers. Now, Weber's going to go in motion. They're going to give the jet sweep again. This time he finds the crease one more time. Only going to get about 2 on the play this time. Zeider on the tackle for.
And I tell you what, I like this early in this ballgame, attacking the edges of this Liberty Center defense. Make them run sideline to sideline with you, and then hit some quick hitters up the middle. Make them defend the whole field, because they're gonna send different blitzes at you, things like that. If they're coming up the middle with a blitz, get to the outside, because guess what? Make them set the edge. And if they're not there, because everyone's coming up the middle, you got running lanes.
3-by-1 for the Golden Bears. Got pressure coming off the edge. Pass is going to be knocked down.
I was saying, with the wind, I don't know if we're going to see the field goal unit here, but it might not be a bad idea to try it here. I mean, he was hitting from 50.
He was hitting from this distance.
It's a different thing in the game. I get that.
No rush coming and no snap.
It looks like the Bryan offense is in fact staying on the field here.
Well, the bottom line is, if you're punting right here, partner, you've got the risk of a bad snap.
I was going to say for sure.
And you get the risk of a bad snap, and you're looking at maybe a 13-yard punt or 12-yard punt.
For sure. If you're not kicking the field goal here, you're absolutely going
Definitely
for this.
4-down territory. 3-by-1, moving Dominic out to the slot on the right side on the hash mark. Weber in motion to make it 2-by-2. Nice pickup by Wolf. About as good a job on the blitz as we could. Didn't get the first down, but Rhett McGill did get positive yardage out of it, and I didn't think that was going to happen. Damian Wolf stepped up and picked up the blitz really well that time. Just Rhett couldn't get that extra couple yards he needed, so it's going to be another turnover on downs.
Yeah, and I agree. We did an excellent job of picking up that blitz. That's part of being a good running back, is also picking up the blitz.
Liberty Center takes over 1st and 10. No score, 7:27 to go here in the first half, and it's going to be a handoff up the middle, powering up over the 40 to about the 45, 46-yard line. Going to be Waylon Rentz on the carry. Got a player down for the Golden Bears back at the 32-yard line. Training staff is going to go out to look at him, and while the training staff is looking at him with 7:21 to go in the first quarter with no score, we'll send away from this word from our sponsors on the Golden Bears Sports Network.
Discover top-quality healthcare education at Northwest State. Our instructors have real-world experience, so they know how to prepare you for great career opportunities. Northwest State, where you'll get the top-quality healthcare education you need to succeed.
STEM is everywhere, like here, behind the scenes of The Walking Dead. STEM can create new worlds on and off the screen. The only limit is your imagination. Get inspired at shecanstem.com.
Welcome back here to Golden Bear Stadium. Young man is still on the ground for the Golden Bears. I believe that was Eli Thim, 53, as I thought who I caught the number. 5'9", 262-pound sophomore. He had missed a couple of games with a lower leg, and it looks like it may be the same type of thing, so it looks like it could be just an aggravated injury.
Yeah, I can't tell if they're working on that knee or that ankle, but it's definitely a lower leg of some kind is what they're working on over there on Mr. Thim.
And it's been a tough thing. You know, coaches talked about it both in the coaches show and before and after the coaches show when Chris and I have had a chance to talk to him. When you got 90 kids, nobody gets hurt.
Yep.
When you got 37 kids,
Seems
everybody
like
gets hurt.
Everybody gets hurt.
It's the nature of the beast.
It just seems like that's what it tests. It tests your depth, and so we'll see who can step up here for Mr. Thim if he can't go the rest of the way.
And one of the things for the Golden Bears all year is, you know, we talked about it early, and coaches talked about it in a couple of the coaches show. When we lost early on, even before the season started. When we lost Cooper Beltran to an injury, who was our starting right tackle, it meant that they had to do everything on the offensive line. Our offensive line play hasn't been great this year, but when we realized the first night they played together was opening night.
Mm-hmm.
You got Lucas Reed, who was a freshman, was your backup running back, who literally that first game, I went over to the coaches after the first time out and said, who in the world is 65?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, that's Lucas Reed. I'm like, no, he's number 6. And we changed his number tonight to let him play guard.
Well, I was gonna say that's the thing when you don't have a lot of numbers, your front line you're thin already, and so then maybe some of your experienced guys, if one of them goes down, then you're dipping deep into your inexperience right from the jump, as opposed to maybe have some guys that, I can slot this guy that's played this position before or been on the varsity field before. You can kind of lean on a little bit of that experience. And, obviously with being a little bit thin number-wise, the Golden Bears haven't had the opportunity to really do that.
Well, they're bringing the medics over from the squad, so we're going to let this young man get his attention, and we will send it away for another break. You're on the Golden Bears Sports Network.
The Bryan Athletic Boosters would like to wish all the student athletes the best of luck in all their sports this year. The Boosters are proud of your commitment to becoming Bryan built. It takes a lot of time and dedication to play sports and be the best student you can be at the same time. Good luck this year. The Bryan Athletic Boosters would also like to thank all of their corporate and individual patron supporters this year as well. It takes everyone to make a community and to become Bryan built.
Welcome back here to Golden Bear Stadium. The young cheerleaders are down. Junior cheerleading, they had 150 young ladies pre-K through 6 out for the football cheer camp, and they're all here tonight doing their thing. And it is an absolute wonderful experience for them and a good experience for the home crowd to see our youngsters out there participating.
Oh, it sure is. And just want to say, he's got the stretcher coming out for Eli Thim here. Just want to say, prayers out for him, his family, everything. He is moving down there, which is a good sign. Seems to be a good sign at least. So he is moving down there. Just unable to. He's got his arms up and everything. So it seems to be positive, but don't want to speculate at this point what's going on. Right. So just prayers out to him and his family, and we'll be thinking out to you, Eli.
One of the things we get concerned about anytime you see a young man go down is a head injury.
Always.
You hate to see any injury, but it's a contact game, and things happen. Legs get rolled up, and one of the things that I've marveled at in high school, and I don't know whether it's flexibility or what it is, or just the size of people. But you watch in major college football, you watch in the pros, offensive linemen that just are doing all the right stuff and just get rolled up on.
Yep.
And there goes, an ankle or a knee.
Oh, it does. It happens. It happens
all
all
the
the time.
time.
The speed of the game, it moves so fast. And, you got big, especially at the college and NFL level, you got big 300-pound linemen moving a lot quicker than they probably should for that weight, right? And so they're moving, and then one foot gets planted in the ground, and that's an anchor, and then someone's coming, and it gets, rolled up on. It happens far, far too often.
And it's one of the things that you see, but, this is a large young man. They tried to help him up a couple of times, and he got partway up and was just like, no, he wasn't going to go. But like you said, he's communicating with the trainers. He's moving. That's all good signs. Nobody likes seeing anybody get hurt, but at least we're not seeing something where they're rushing and like some of the things we've seen in major college and the NFL the last couple of years.
Oh yeah, was it I forget the guy's name, like Damar Hamlin, whole situation. Like I don't always watch. I can't remember if that was a Thursday night or Monday night game, but I try to watch as much as NFL as I can. A little tough with two little ones at home, but I happen to have that game on and just that's just just a heartbreaking situation. And it was a play that, like, if you just had seen it, like, you might not have thought routine play. I thought nothing really happened, and that's kind of the thing, is like it is some of these routine plays that you don't think anything's going to happen. Doesn't look that bad, and look what happened with Tua a couple weeks ago. With his concussion, it didn't really look all that bad, and then you watch it back, it's like, oh, and you have that reaction, and it's like, yeah, this is serious stuff. So, just think about those guys and speedy recovery. So,
and I years ago when I was with the fire department, I used to work football games all the time with the squad. We had a young man that went across the middle playing on the slot and just got lit up by a little linebacker who was 5'9", 212 pounds.
Yeah.
And this kid went down like a heap. They called us over. We checked him over. He was good. There was not a problem at all. We look at the coach, we're like, he's good. And coach comes up to us at halftime and goes, he needs to talk to you again. I'm like, okay, we'll go talk to him again. My partner looks at him, who's a full paramedic, and partner looks at him, and I'm watching the kid's eyes. And I looked at the coach and went, no, he's not coming back.
Yeah.
He wasn't hurt. He didn't want to face that linebacker again.
Yep.
You know what?
And there's that.
He knew that running that drag route as a split end.
Don't want to see him against the middle of the field.
Yep. I looked at him and said, Coach, he's good to go, but he's not coming back tonight. Got him strapped up and getting Mr. Thim off the field, which is another thing that we don't often thank them enough for the medics that show up at this game.
Yep.
Give their Friday nights to come be a part of this. And it's the thing. I know I worked a lot of games as a medic, and it's the one thing that you let me sit in the back of the ambulance and just watch the ball game. You never wanted to have to be used, but so thankful for them that they're out here, and prayers for Mr. Thim. And if we get any updates on him, we'll be sure to pass them along to you. So here we are back. First down, 10 to go, 7:19 clock running, and we're back to play football now. Going to be a little cross action once again. Such a tough play to pick up, and he's still on his feet. Inside the 30, inside the 20, one man to beat. And he's going to take it all the way in for a touchdown. Garrison Cruz. Cruz has scored a lot of touchdowns for the Tigers over the years, and here comes another one.
Yeah,
Looked like a pretty ordinary play that broke out of one or two tackles, and there he was gone.
Just kind of bounced around, broke a tackle, broke it out to the outside, and it was out the gate. And I tell you what, I was just going to say, coming out of that injury, it was going to be, I think, key to see how Bryan would respond. That's something, you don't know how teams are going to respond, and it's really hard. Okay?
When one of your brothers goes down,
when you see someone go down like that and get carted off the field, it's really tough to see that.
One of the things that is new for Liberty Center this year, they've got a kicker. Rosebrock just drilled that extra point, and it's going to be 7-0. 7:01 to go here in the first quarter on your main stops of Northwest Ohio scoreboard. Your score, Liberty Center 7, Bryan nothing. We'll be right back after this timeout for the kickoff.
The Bryan Parks and Recreation Department would like to wish the Bryan Golden Bears good luck in tonight's game. The Bryan Parks and Rec offers a wide variety of classes for you during the entire year and an array of sporting events all year long. Check out what the Bryan Parks and Recreations Department has going on at bryanparksandrec.com or like them on Facebook. The Bryan Parks and Rec hopes to see you in one of the many parks that Bryan has to offer and enjoy the facilities. Questions about the classes or rental of one of their facilities, call 633-6030.
Welcome back here to Golden Bear Stadium. Quick hitter play has been the bugaboo of the Golden Bears all season long. That play went for 54 yards for a touchdown coming out of the injury timeout.
Yeah, I'd say it sure was, and just in combination with the injury and the 54-yard touchdown 2 plays later, the air has kind of been sucked out of the stadium. In the end, all the momentum that Bryan, kind of had there to start this ball game, getting a stop, moving the ball a little bit, has quickly evaporated.
We'll see what the Tigers do here on the kickoff. Kicking into the wind, Bryan's got Cade Carlin and Anthony Weber back standing outside their 10-yard line. They're not expecting a deep kickoff from Rosebrock.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if Liberty Center kind of pooches this, puts this ball on the ground and lets it skip a little bit.
And it's going to take the skip, double hop, picked up at the 15, out over the 20, 25, 30, and it gets swallowed up. Was that Cade Carlin? Give it a little bit. I like what I see. He was a little frustrated with his blocker that time and let him know that you needed to push the guy one way or another.
I'll say some more laundry on the field here. Looks like it's against the Bears, maybe. I see a holding.
But they're looking at the Bryan side.
First and 10 from the 20-yard line.
20-yard line, 10-yard penalty, a block in the back against the Golden Bears. See how Bryan responds. You got a 31, 3 receivers to the short side, 1 to the field side. Wolf beside And it's going to be Damian Wolf up the middle, out over the 25 to about the 26.
Yeah, that's a great gain on first down. I see it on replay here. Quick hitter right up the middle, lowers his shoulder, able to get a good, nice gain of 6-7 yards.
7 yards. We're going to give him 7. Take it down to second down, 3 to go. Ball setting right at the 27-yard line.
And that's what you want if you're the Bryan offense. 4, 5, 6, 7 yards on first down. That's a winning formula for the Bears.
You've got Carter Dominic in leading the blocking, and it's going to be another carry by Damian Wolf out over the 30 for another Golden Bear first down.
And again, another 5 yards. Just 5 yards here, 7 yards there. That's sustain those. I mean, I know we're 2 plays into this drive, but line's getting some movement up front. Damian's finding the crease. A good sign here for the Bears.
But when we talk about it, partner, last week we were minus 5 yards till very late in the second quarter. So when we see Bryan getting first downs and moving the ball, that's a very good sign. Clock rolling, just under halfway gone here in the first quarter. Just under 6 minutes to go. It's going to be a read, and McGill, I'm not sure if Damian didn't take the handoff or if that was a real read option. No, it was a real read option, and we just got spun around. Another nice play. All right, we're going to be tired of calling Cruz's name before this night's over. Nice play by him to take Bryan back for a loss. Going to bring up second down, 13 to go. Clock rolling, 5.5 to go here in the first quarter on your Main Stops of Northwest Ohio scoreboard. Main Stops all around, ready when you are. Thursdays, every Thursday at Main Stops of Northwest Ohio. One receiver to this way. You got trips to the top. McGill behind center, bringing motion this way. Going to be a short pass to Damian Wolf, and he goes nowhere. Going to be probably a loss on the play.
It looks like a loss of a yard there. Just, short little route there, and Liberty Center is right there to make the play. 17, Jackson Bartles.
Yes. Brings third down, 14. After we commended them for a really good first couple plays. The last two have gone
now
the wrong
we're
way.
third and long, third and an obvious passing situation. What I'd like to see here, maybe go draw, maybe go a little screen. I mean, this Liberty Center defense is going to be screaming downhill, bringing the blitz here, and they sure are.
And instead we get a pick going the other way. Bartle's going to take it to the house. 10-5, touchdown. Pass was a little bit behind Carter Dominic, right into the heart of the zone.
And you'll see us again on replay here. Ball just a little bit out front of Carter Dominic, right in the waiting arms of Jackson Bartle, and off to the races from there. And 2 back-to-back nice plays from Jackson Bartle.
It was.
I mean, right on it with Damian Wolf, and then sitting right there into his waiting arms, and takes it back for a pick 6 for the Tigers.
Kick is up, and the kick is good. So with 4:17 to go, Liberty Center 14-0, and that's just a couple of back-breaking plays. You give up the 54-yard run, and then you throw a pick 6. And this is what we didn't want from this Golden Bear team. You didn't want to be down 14, 17, 21, because we're just not built to come back. And for the Golden Bears, getting blown out here tonight does not help, because you're going into 4 games that are completely winnable. But you said it, sometimes your toughest opponent's one between your ears.
Mm-hmm.
And, coming out tonight and having a bad night makes it difficult going to Evergreen next week. But I tell you, I know you can't really see it on camera. If our camera folks can get a shot of the lights here in a little bit, the rain is really coming down, and it is really blowing out there. This is a beautiful night to be in a nice, comfortable press box. Rosebrock on to kick off again. Our 2 deep backs are back at the 12-yard line. Rosebrock runs up. Kick is going to go bounce over Weber, and this is trouble. Ball is finally picked up at the 5-yard line, out over the 10, 15, and swarmed under by a whole host of Tigers at about the 15, 16-yard line.
And I tell you what, that's the thing you'll see on replay here. This ball's kind of skipping around on the turf, and nice job by Weber, able to pick it up about the 5-yard line. But look how many Liberty Center hats are flying to the football. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they're just dogpiling him. And that's what, it's a hallmark of this Liberty Center, Tiger program. You can see the rain coming down if you're following us on TV. But, that's what the Tigers do well. And we saw it last week with PH. What do both those teams do really well? They are fundamentally sound. They keep their gaps, but then they fly. Their pursuit to the football is incredible.
Hats to the ball is a big deal. 2-by-2 for Bryan on this set. One back in the backfield. It's going to be Wolf up the middle, and he doesn't go very far this time. Maybe a half yard on the carry.
Yeah, now with the rain really coming down, so the rain had kind of tapered off just a little bit there, allowed Bryan to throw the football a little bit. Bryan's got to be really solid in the run game and continue to mix in some outside runs, getting on that jet sweep with Weber, maybe Carlin on a jet sweep, things like that, to keep this Liberty Center Tiger defense from just packing the tackle box essentially and just blitzing linebackers and their gap backers just coming right up. In the A gaps.
And it's what they're going to do. They're either going to man us all over the field or they're going to drop into that zone, but they're still going to send 4, 5, 6, and it looks like they're coming this time into a 4-down lineman set, and here come 2 more. Wolf is going to try to get to the outside, gets out over the 20 to about the 21.
That's the thing, even there, you'll see it on our replay here. We're getting the edge a little bit, and there's not maybe a ton of room. I know there's only a gain of 2 yards, but it seems like there's a little bit more running room outside, because obviously you got 6, 7 guys in the box. It's just congested in there. Get our guys outside, let them run a little bit, and see if we can make some plays out on the edge.
But again, what we saw there, the backside pursuit was just so quick from this Liberty Center team. 2 receivers each way. Wolf in the backfield with McGill. Pressure comes. McGill steps up, sacked. Going to be brought down at the 15. That was brought 2 linebackers up the A-gap that time and just not enough people to answer.
Yeah, and that's the thing. There are obvious passing situations. 3rd and long. What are good teams going to do? Blitz, blitz, blitz. Because you got a young quarterback. Offensive line is kind of meshing. But a young offensive line, not a lot of experience. Hey, we're gonna throw some cross blitzers. We're gonna outnumber you and speed up the game for that young quarterback, and that's exactly what Liberty Center just did right there.
And here they come. Punts away. Nice punt. Is going to bounce and take a Golden Bear bounce. This is a booming punt, fielded inside the 20 at about the 17. Trying to cut back upfield, looking for a little crease, gets it out over the 30 to about the 33-yard line. But that was a flip the field type of play.
It sure was.
I got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 72 yards on that punt.
That's a heck of a punt there.
But I said in the pregame, we may get an 80-yard punt going one way and a 9-yard going the other way. We got close, 72. I was pretty close to that one. But here comes Liberty Center again. And here, this is some of that eye candy. Guys moving around, shifting the formation into a pro set. And here comes this way, and that is going to be, I'm looking at numbers. That was number 3. That was Moeller on the tackle. Trying to pick up numbers here through the rain-soaked windows is a little tough.
I'll say it sure is. And just another chunk play there for the Tigers.
A minute and a half to go here in the first quarter. Liberty Center 14, Bryan nothing. Change quarterbacks. And it's going to be another quick hitter up the middle. Escaping to the outside, Hogan on the tackle. Rentz on the carry.
And just a hard run by Rentz there. Bryan, kind of stopped him at the line there and was able to fight forward for a nice gain of 6 yards.
Caden Kreinbrink. Yep, that's it. 6'1", 195-pound junior on at quarterback. He's number 8. Wing back to the right, now coming in bubble motion. Going to be a quick hitter up the middle into the second level. Nice tackle that time. Was that Moeller on the carry and Weber on the tackle? Anthony Weber's having a heck of a season making tackles, but you really don't want your free safety leading your team in tackles. That shows a lot of guys are getting to the second level, third level.
You sure don't. I was going to say, if your safety's leading tackles, you want your linebackers making those plays, right? You want them in the second level making those plays, linebackers and D linemen. You don't want guys getting third level.
Unless your last name's Lott or Palomalu, you're not expecting your safeties to lead. Got a pass. The lefty finds a receiver, caught, wrapped up 22-yard line, where that's going to be the last play of the first quarter. Here at the end of the first quarter, Liberty Center 14, Bryan nothing on the Golden Bears Sports Network.
Here at the Williams County Veteran Service Office, our mission is plain and simple. We are here to serve our local Williams County veterans and their dependents. We are staffed with trained service officers who have the compassion and understanding to assist their fellow veterans in obtaining all federal and state benefits that they have earned. Additionally, we provide emergency financial assistance and transportation to VA medical centers. So if you're a veteran or a dependent of a veteran, stop in today and see how we can help you at the Williams County Veteran Service Office.
At Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, we understand that family is at the heart of everything we do.
Being family-owned and family-focused is not just a slogan for us, it's a way of life. We walk alongside you during life's most challenging moments, providing a guiding hand and a shoulder to lean on.
With heartfelt care and attention to detail, we tailor each service to honor the life and the memories of your loved one. We treat you like family because your journey is our journey.
Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory. Family-owned, family-focused.
Welcome back here. Second quarter action just underway. Liberty Center with a power backfield now. 3 backs in the backfield, and it's going to be a toss. It's going to be Cruz. Breaks out of one tackle, breaks out another tackle, and he's going to take it all the way to the house. Touchdown, Liberty Center.
That's some laundry on the field, though.
Flag on the play, back at the 14.
There's no score. Holding, offense, 10-yard penalty from the spot of foul.
Another big penalty against Liberty Center. Going to take a touchdown off the board with a hold on the play.
Until about 45 yards of penalties for the Tigers
Center.
already.
Yeah. And they can get away with it in a game like tonight. They can get away with it next week, but you're not going to get away with this playing a South Range. You're not going to get away with this playing a Perry.
Yep, absolutely.
As the play comes in, Antwerp-Tenora, nothing. Eden 6, Montpelier nothing. Defiance Kenton tied at 7. Edgerton 20, Ayersville 7. Here comes motion on the play. Ball's loose on the field. Looks like he falls on his own fumble. Archbold Evergreen, no score. Patrick Henry Wasion, no score. Van Wert 7, St. Mary 6, Delta 21, Swanton nothing.
And again, that's where that wet ball, again, comes into play here. The rain's really coming down. You see them switch out the ball here. We'll see if that makes a difference here on this third and 4.
Third down 4, ball to 25, 11-18 to go here in the first half. Here goes a handoff around the right side, or left side is going to be Moeller. He gets to the second level. Brought down by Cade Carlin inside the 10 to about the 7, I believe. Just a simple student body left. Ball's going to be right at the 7. Right at 11 minutes to go here in the first half. First down, goal to go, ball at the 8-yard line. 1 back, 2 wing backs. Cruz goes in motion. They're going to hand it up the middle. It's going to be Rents. And again, all that eye candy, you get guys moving, you get eyes moving, and you just run it right up the gut.
Yep.
Rents 8 yards for the touchdown, makes it 20-0. And brings Rosebrock on to try the extra point. And partner, you and I have talked about for all our weeks together that the idea of building a program, and instead of just having a winning season to build a program, and that's what the teams like Liberty Center are able to do, because here you are in a game that's not just mop-up minutes late in the fourth quarter with the running clock. and you're getting your number 2 quarterback in and getting him some reps.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, we're not going to do anything fancy. We may simplify the offensive playbook a little bit with you in, but we're going to let you get some reps. And so, you know, and the thing that Jim and I talked about this morning is you get to week 14, 15, 16. That's an extra 4 or 5 weeks of practice for the young kids
extra
every
4,
year.
5, 6 weeks of practice again. And there's also, like, practice is one thing, and I am a firm believer you practice, you play how you practice 100%. So this is not discrediting practice whatsoever, but there's also no substitute for the speed of a Friday night. So then when you get out there and that game all of a sudden, and we've talked about it a lot this year, that game is for all of Bryan's freshmen, that game will slow down. Whether that's this season, next year, or the following year, that game slows down. You're like, I've seen that before. I've seen that before. The speed doesn't seem quite so fast anymore. You're like, I'm used to this.
Right.
I've seen these things before. So, and that's what you see out of Liberty Center, Patrick Henry, even the Archibalds, and some of those types of programs in the area. They've built that because you got those extra 4 or 5 weeks of practice, and they're playing in meaningful minutes in the middle of the season.
Here's the boot high end over end kick. Going to be taken, fumbled at the 5. Carlin picks it back up out over the 15. And just the kickoff discipline by this Liberty Center team, they stay in their lanes, and when they find out where the ball is, they attack the ball.
Yeah, again, there's 4, 5, 6 guys at the ball every single play, and that's what they do. They pursue, they're fundamentally sound, and they do their jobs well.
And this is where Bryan didn't want to be. Down 21-0, started the second quarter with the ball 1st and 10 at your own 16 into the wind. You got 2 receivers each way, bring in motion, and it's going to be a handoff. It's going to be Aiden Wallace trying to get to the outside, and he is going to get swarmed under and dropped for a loss of I think they're going to only count a loss of 3 on the play where his momentum was stopped. That stutter step there really hurt him, partner.
Sure did. Yeah, there might have been some running room outside, but kind of stuttered a little bit and allowed the defense to pursue and swarm him there for a loss of 4 on the play. And again, you just see 5, 6 Liberty Center hats at the football every single play.
And you can see in that shot, if you're watching online, the rain is just relentless, and it's not going to let up all night. Special thoughts to our friends and folks down in South who just got absolutely destroyed in the last couple of days. Little play that time, little pass up the middle. Nice step up that time by Rhett. Just couldn't hold on to it. Helmet meets the ball.
Yeah, I'm saying Max Walker was right there just to meet him and just put his nose on the football, and that's exactly what you taught. Just a good form tackle there to jar that ball loose.
3rd down, 14 to go. 9:47 to go here in the first half. Ball back at the 12-yard line.
And again, this Bryan offense just hasn't been in a lot of advantageous positions early in this ballgame. We're deep in our own territory, 3rd and long here.
McGill, little screen pass, overthrows his receiver.
And I tell you what, I don't know if we'll get this on replay here, but if we do, if this ball's complete, there is a lot of green turf in front of Damian Wolf there. Might have closed quickly, but my goodness, he had a caravan of blockers in front of him. He might have been able to pick up that first down.
And just a tough thing, you know. It's I've told people that last week when I went on Saturday to watch the Ohio State Marshall game, that Marshall did everything right. Our players were in the right place. We called the right plays, and the problem is that Ohio State's athletes just out-athleted us. Uran gets the snap, punts it away, ball goes up in the air, and it's coming straight down. Ball bounces at the 30, going to be marked down at the 38-yard line. That was a
that was the wind taking that punt there. So you just watch that, and it just hit a wall of wind.
We went from the 12 to the 38. If I do my math right, that's 26. He went 73 on the first one, 26 on the second one. It's a great average, but I think if you're the coach, you'd much rather have 45 on both of them.
Right. Did thankfully take a small Bryan hop bounce there to make that a little bit better.
Miller back at quarterback for Liberty Center. And he's going to pass. Gets it out into the flat. Ball's complete. Once again, complete to Moeller out of the backfield. Connor Hogan on the tackle for the Golden Bears, but another Liberty Center first down.
Yeah, and that's what they do so well. You see run. Linebackers flow up, and they hit you over the pass for, hit you over top for gains of 15, 16. This one happened to be 17 yards. They're out of the backfield. Just a simple sneak a running back out, and he's wide open.
Miller going to roll this time, looks out in the flat the other way, and it's going to be complete. Inside the 10, inside the 5, touchdown, Liberty Center. Once again, complete to Rentz.
And again, they sneak him right out of the backfield here, running right behind his lineman, and able to make a guy miss.
And all of our linebackers flow to the handoff.
And maybe it's a moot point, but that might have been a block in the back there right at the goal line by Cruz. But that we'll let that one go.
We'll let that one go.
We'll let that one go. I don't think it really affected the play much, but
don't think so. Rosebrock on to try another extra point. This one, the wind at his back. Snap, the hold. The kick is good. 8:58 to go here in the first half. 28-0. Now Liberty Center. See if there's any updates on scores for us from around the area, around the conference. Antwerp Tenora still no score. Eden now 14, Montpelier nothing. Edgerton 20, Ayersville 7. Archibald Evergreen tied at nothing. Patrick Henry Wauseon no score. Delta 21, Swanton nothing. St. Mary's Van Wert now 14-14. And Defiance ahead of Kenton 14-7. Scores from around the area and around the conference. 28-0 here, just under 9 minutes to go in the first half.
I was saying Liberty Center already has racked up 216 total yards on the day, with 173 of those coming on the ground.
It is just a, they truly are the machine. They're just the machine.
They are. And again, it's the offense that is run first, and then they sneak guys out of the backfield because they've lulled you to sleep with, okay, we're going to bring 8, 9 guys in the box to try to stop you. And then they'll sneak a guy out of the backfield, and then you hit a gain of, again, 14, 15. And those are backbreakers. It's not like it's just a gain of, 2 or 3 with the pass or 5 or 6 with the pass. It's 10, 15, 20 yards when they do hit them, and they're efficient at it too.
High end-over-end kick taken at the 6. Out over the 15 and brought down would be Carlin. Lonwazak on the tackle. So Bryan gets the ball inside their 20. I'm going to hand it to Rosebrock on the kickoffs. We don't give kickers enough credit. With this wind at your back, it's easy to drive it through the end zone. He has put 2 spinners up there to make us field them.
Mm-hmm.
And both times we've been trapped inside our 20. So he's being used as a weapon. 2 receivers to this side, 2 backs in the backfield. First time we've seen that for a while. Carlin on the carry, I believe.
Saying that's the thing. The average starting field position for Bryan today, we got our first drive started at our own 40, but then we started inside our 20 the last 4 drives. 20, 17, 16, and 18. Just not great starting field position, and then we've been playing behind the sticks. So we really haven't even had a chance to flip the field and make Liberty
work.
Drive the ball, 10, 12 plays on us so far in this ball game.
2-by-2 for the Golden Bears. They're going to bring Weber in motion, going to hand it to Wolf up the middle, and we've tried that play about 3 or 4 times. It's worked 3 times, didn't work the 4th.
Yeah, no, and that's just
Walker
a great
play. Was just right in the backfield,
met him right at the line, goes low, chops him down for a loss of 1, maybe 2 on the play.
I'm going to give him no gain. No, they haven't moved the down marker. It is a loss of 1 on the play. There it goes. Now they moved it. 3rd down, long 10, short 11. Again, Bryan behind the sticks, playing in the rain, and that one almost picked off as well. Going to fall incomplete. Going to bring up a 4th down. 4th down, 11 to go. Uran on to punt again.
And this is one I know he's got a booming leg, and he can get it up in the air. This might be, I try to line drive this.
Yeah.
You got to drive this ball against the wind.
This is one you almost wish you were a rugby-style kicker,
right?
Where you get that little run out and able to drive that ball deep.
There it is.
He does. He gets a little lone, and it's nice. Picked up at the 45, nowhere to go, brought down at the 40. Partner, you think you and I have seen or played this game for a few times?
I think so. I mean, because again, you kick it low, you got some momentum behind it, then you got to make them field it, and then skipping on that turf. And he had a moment's hesitation there, and that's kind of what you're looking for.
The wind's not going to knock it back. The risk is you get it blocked, but it's 28-0 with 7 minutes to go in the first half. Okay, so it gets blocked. I would rather take the chance and push them back than to give them that super short field again. Going to be motion. Pass deep down the middle this time, over the head of everybody, and that's going to be another new quarterback. That's Ethan Gray in at quarterback now. I believe that a number 2 that I see out there at quarterback.
Or is that 8 again? I think it is. I think it's Kreinbrink again.
No, that's a 2.
Is it?
Hold on, I'm going to ask in the press box. Is that 2 at quarterback? It's 8 at quarterback. It was. You're right, partner. And this time it's going to be Rents up the middle. Carter Sickle made the tackle for Bryan.
I'll say to our defense up here, we are looking through this rain splattered window. It is tough to see numbers.
We got these amazing LED lights, this incredible video board, and no windshield wipers on the press box that we really could use tonight. It's like trying to land an airplane out there in this stuff. Now they're back into the T formation, very tight, very power. And it's going to go over the right-hand side. That's going to be Cruz. Drives his way forward. Ball's on the ground, and I think we may have it. Was he down will be the question. And they're going to say they got it back.
Yeah, I don't know if we can get that again on replay here. We'll see if that ball does squirt out before he goes to the ground. Do we got it? Yeah, I think he hit the ground there. I think that's the right call there. I think replay would have upheld that one.
I do too.
Or replay did uphold that one.
I've got the replay right here. It's Bryan Ball, first and goal from the 2 is what I saw. I don't know about anybody else. So one of the cool things here tonight, folks, is not only do we have all of our junior cheerleaders out there doing an amazing job, our entire camera crew tonight are all junior high. Handoff up the middle. Ball is on the ground this time. That when he wasn't down, I believe that Liberty Center is on the ball. But an all junior high camera crew. Handoff went up the middle. That was going to be Moeller on the carry. 2nd down and 3 for Liberty Center. 5:50 on your main stops in Northwest Ohio scoreboard. 28-0 Liberty Center. And Center will get the ball to start the second half. Again, into their power formation, the old T formation, and it's going to be Rents up the middle. He's going to weave his way in. Touchdown, Liberty Center. Just picked his way through.
Sure did.
Ran through a couple of tackles and gone.
Just knife through the middle of the Bryan defense there for a second touchdown of the night. 13-yard touchdown run for Rents. I'm saying Liberty Center, 214 yards on the ground already. 15 attempts, 14 yards per carry for the Tigers.
My goodness. That's a game right there. And we still have 5 minutes to go in the first half. 5 minutes and 29 seconds exactly to go in the first half. 35-0 Liberty Center over the Golden Bears. And the only thing as relentless as the Liberty Center ground game is the rain.
Yep, it sure is.
And oh my goodness, have we needed it up here though?
Oh yeah. I was going to say, I just mowed my lawn was it last night? It was last night. It was last night for the first time in a month, partner.
Yeah.
In a month.
Yeah.
I'm like, I mean, I do love my mowing, though, I can tell you that.
I used to love my mowing, and now I love on Friday afternoon when my guys lower that gate and drive that zero turn off
there
their
you
truck,
go.
and they go.
It's kind of nice.
And I go out and go, hey guys, can you get these leaves while you're going by?
Yeah, I feel like I'm one of those dads now that needs, I just turned 30, well, I guess 6 months ago. But point being, I feel like I need like a pair of jorts and some New Balances and some white tube socks, and I am set.
But you got to have 2 pair of New Balance. You got to have your lawnmower New Balance that are green.
That's true.
You got to have your green ones.
Mm-hmm.
And see, I've gone to the grandpa stage. I went out and bought a pair of bib overalls.
There you go.
After the baby was born, and I tell you what,
I like it.
I would wear them 24/7 if my wife would let me. Most comfortable thing in the world is a grown-up onesie. Again, Rosebrook with a low line drive kick made to be fielded. Carlin gets it out this time over the 20 to the 30. Didn't get as much air under this one, and so Carlin was able to find the seam before it closed down with 6 Tigers.
Absolutely, and I tell you what, Carlin showing off his baseball skills there. That was excellently picked off the turf, off the big hop, able to get it with a full head of steam, and to give the Bears, it's not great starting field position, but our best starting field position since the first drive of the ball game. So we'll see what the Bears can do with it here with about 5 minutes to go in the first half.
Liberty Center back into a 4-man defensive line. McGill back behind center. It's going to be a handoff up the middle, going to go nowhere. Wolf gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that just collapsed. You've got your Tigers just collapsing into that middle of the line.
Yep, I'll say they're all just they're seeing run and bang coming forward. You see guys screaming off the edge. I think you saw Cruz flying off the edge there if there was anything. That's where if you're able to run a read option, he's collapsing like that. Pull it, go.
If you can make it happen.
If you can make that happen, absolutely.
Going to be once again try to get Wolf up the middle after running the fake jet sweep, but he's going to go nowhere. A loss of maybe 1 on the play, going to bring up 3rd down and 11, 3rd and 12.
And again, just not the positions this Bryan offense, thrives in. To be quite frank, 3rd and long, rain's coming down hard, windy, and you're throwing against the wind now. And then we've tried a couple screen passes that haven't worked to try to slow down this Liberty Center pass rush, and we've just been just a touch off on them because those could have been some big plays, and that's kind of the difference is, you complete that and you maybe get a big play of your own. Kind of changes things a little bit.
We've tried a couple of passes out of the backfield, and even when they're completed, they haven't really gone anywhere. We're going to go 2 by 2. Wolf in the backfield, steps up to pick up the blitz. They don't blitz. The pocket collapses, and down goes McGill. That was a coverage sack as you look at it in college football. There just was nobody open downfield.
Yeah, sure, and you see McGill has time to throw here, just nobody open downfield. Good defense by the Tigers there and able to force the coverage sack.
And you saw there on the Welling Construction replay that Easton Kerr was open at about the 40-yard line, but his quarterback was in scramble mode. And again, freshman quarterback, freshman receiver didn't know to move to make himself visible.
Yep.
Another nice low punt. This one's going to hop and taken at about the 45, and he's going to go nowhere coming back. Return Cam Kale on the tackle. Weber on another good tackle for the Golden Bears. But that was one of the we talked about it last week about that scramble drill when your quarterback gets in trouble. Kerr went to a spot and curled.
Yep.
But he's a freshman, and you got a freshman quarterback, and they tell you to work back towards your quarterback. And Kerr got there and held his position. Again, one of those things that you're going to learn. But as a freshman, I'm open. There I am. Going to be, once again, Moeller on the carry. Going to be close to a Liberty Center first down. 2nd down and 1. Clock inside 3 minutes here in the second quarter. 35-0 Liberty Center on your main stops of Northwest Ohio scoreboard. Open when you need them. You're always near a main stop with Thirsty Thursday every Thursday. Going to be a pitch. Cruz going out to the left, cuts it back, gets inside the 40 to about the 38, enough for a Liberty Center first down.
And again, just 9, 7, 8. It's Moeller's sitting just a yard shy of a hundo for the night, 100 yards. Cruz has 75. Rent's sitting at 59, couple tutties. It's just run, and run some more.
Going into the wing tee this time. Going to bring a little bubble motion. They're going to pitch it. And it's going to be coming this way, close to another first down. That's going to be Bartles on the carry. So Bartles with a touchdown on the defensive side of the ball now gets a chance to get his first carry on the offensive side of the ball from that wing back position, and it was going to be enough for a first down. Gave him 12 on the play. Clock inside 2 minutes, a minute 35 to go when Liberty Center breaks the huddle. 20 on the play clock. Miller behind center, I formation, one receiver each way, tight end to the right. Little misdirection. Moeller's got a big hole over the left, cuts it back inside. Going to be enough for another first down. Take it to the 15-yard line. And that's one where if you look at the Welling Construction replay, he had the blocker in front of him.
And that's the thing, every play on this drive, 9, 11, 12.
Just keep on going.
Just keep on churning. And unfortunately, because the Bryan offense hasn't, sustained some drives, this defense has been out there, and they're just wearing down the Bryan defense at this point late in this first half.
Shotgun formation, two receivers to the left. Miller is going to fake it, pull it down. He goes to the left. He's going to be inside the 5 to about the 2, maybe inside the 2. Weber with another stop for the Golden Bears, but 12, 13 yards, 14 yards downfield. First down, goal to go from the 2. Clock at 30 seconds.
Yeah, I think Liberty very content here. Run this down, run another play or two, and probably punch it. Try to punch us in the end zone before halftime.
I was going to say, you think they'll take a knee and just take it into the halftime?
Fat chance that's happening, partner. I wouldn't hedge my bets. I'm not a betting man.
Not a betting man,
but I don't think a knee's coming here for the Tigers.
It's going to be a handoff, go to the right-hand side, touchdown Moeller. The sporting thing to do would have been to take a knee to go into halftime, but
we'll just punch it in with 5 seconds left to go in the half.
Rosebrock on to try the extra point. Snap, the hold, the kick. This one is good. With 5 seconds to go here in the first half, the score now, Liberty Center 42, Bryan nothing.
I'll say in this, it was 14-0 at the end of the first quarter. All Liberty Center in the second. 28 points for Liberty Center here in the second quarter, and just doing it with the ground game. Run, and run some more. They did get a passing touchdown in there.
One pass and one pick six.
One pass and one pick six. It's just been,
and everything else has just been, we're going to run it at you.
All Tigers at this point, and they had one drive where they kind of shot themselves in the foot to open the game. 15-yard dead ball penalty and a 10-yard hold,
yeah.
and which they would have gotten the first down on that play. And that's really the only drive that they haven't had success here in this ball game.
So the rain seems to have let up a little bit. It's raining just as hard. The raindrops are just a little smaller. Rosebrock on to kick off. And for those at home, we'll be running clock in the second half with the score 42-0. The run up, the kick. end over end. This one is going to go deep into the end zone. And, again, I want to give credit to the kicker. With the rain working in his favor, he kept the ball in the field of play and made Bryan return it.
Yep.
With the rain a little bit less, I'll take the win, and I'm going to boot it out of the end zone.
Yep. He's been really good kicking the football.
It has been a long time since Liberty Center can say we've got a kicking game. Liberty Center's got a kicking game.
Sure do.
Well, let's see if Bryan takes a knee and takes it to the locker room. Nope, we're going to come out and run. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. And it's going to be Wolf up the middle for nowhere. He may lose one on the play. He does loses one on the play, and that's going to bring us to the end of the first half. Here at the end of the first half, 42-0, all Liberty Center in the first half. Huge thanks to Rick back at the station and to our friends over at WBNO, WQC2. WQCT, no one covers Williams County sports like B-Rock 100.9. And follow the Bryan Golden Bears all season long on Q96.5. Listen on air or online at WBNO, WQCT. And catch me every Friday morning with Jim Thunderberg on the Thunderdome at 10 o'clock as we talk Bryan football each and every Friday. Well, I would like to say that we're seeing things that are unexpected, but we kind of knew coming in that Bryan would have to play the perfect game to hang with this.
I'm just going to say, just flat out, sheer domination from the Tigers here in the first half. Running the ball to a tune of 271 yards, 12.9 yards per carry, and you got 3 guys over 50 yards, Moeller's over 100, a couple touchdowns, returned interception for a touchdown, got a pick 6, 4 for 7 passing between Miller and Kreinbrink. They've been efficient, they've been effective, they've been, I think, everything we thought they'd be and more. Bryan on the flip side, 25 yards of total offense, and I think that's the story. You tip your cap to the Tigers defense. They've done exactly what they needed to do. They've played fundamentally sound, gap sound. They fly to the football. They're tough. They're fast. Like I said, they've played a great game, and they've really swarmed the Bears here tonight.
Well, we're going to send it away for our first halftime break, and we'll come right back. We'll give you stats, updates, scores from around the area on the Golden Bears Sports Network.
Every day, thousands of kids start vaping. So if you want to talk to your kids, you got to get it trending. I was just trying to get your attention.
Could I just ask?
Visit talkaboutvaping.org for tips on when and how to have the vape talk.
Discover top-quality healthcare education at Northwest State. Our instructors have real-world experience, so they know how to prepare you for great career opportunities. Northwest State, where you'll get the top-quality healthcare education you need to succeed.
Welcome back here to Golden Bear Stadium as the Marching Tigers are taking the field. Halftime. Let's take a look at stats, individual stats, team stats.
Yeah, we'll get
Where do you want to start, partner?
Yeah, we'll start with the Tigers. We touched on it a little bit before we took a break. 271 yards rushing for the Tigers, 12.9 average. They've thrown the ball, effectively. The 57% completion percentage. 4 for 7 for 57 yards. They got a touchdown off of that, about 14 yards per completion. For the Golden Bears, you're sitting at 25 yards of total offense, 26 yards on the ground on 18 attempts, so the Tigers are holding us to about 1.4 yards per carry. Again, that defense has been everything that we expected it to be and more. Just not a lot of running room for the Bryan ground game. And then, throwing the ball wise, we just haven't been quite in sync yet in this ball game. 1 for 7 for -1 yards, and that's just, it's tough, when they've made us essentially one-dimensional, and they're a really good defense. It's tough to move the ball when you've been kind of one-dimensional against a defense the caliber of the Liberty Center Tigers. So, as the scoreboard reflects, it's been 42-0. All Tigers here in the first half.
One of the things, and you and I were talking about a little bit during the commercial, is I really thought from a scheme and a fundamental standpoint, I thought the PH defense was phenomenal last week. What the PH defense does with their scheme and the way they flow to the ball, the Liberty Center defense does with just sheer power.
They do.
It's just a power defense.
Sheer
I can't
power,
say a lot of
will, just they're tough. They fly around. They get hats to the football. And again, like I said, we saw that last week with PH too. Yeah, just a really good, fundamentally sound defense, and that's what you see year in and year out, game in and game out from the Tigers.
And one of the things is that for those of us that look, like at the beginning of this game, this is a 100th matchup of this series, and Bryan leads the overall series. 4 in a row that Liberty Center's won. Looks like it's going to be 5 in a row. But one of the things that you hold on to, dynasties come and dynasties go. How many years did everybody look at the New England Patriots and go, man, when's somebody going to beat the Patriots? Well, somebody is.
So somebody is. That team happens to be in Kansas City right now.
I mean, and you look at Kansas City now and go, when's somebody going to beat Kansas City?
Somebody
will.
Someone will do it.
It's all going to happen. So this will change back. The scales tend to flow back and forth. The struggle is that this Liberty Center team is enjoying hanging 70 points on opponents. When it gets reversed,
yep.
And it will come. It may not be next year. It may not be in our lifetime, but it will come.
Yep.
I'm a Marshall grad, and the plane crashed when we started playing our freshmen. We played Miami of Ohio, and we still at Marshall. You say Miami of Ohio, and you hear 66-6. They refused to take their starters off the field, play on our freshmen the first year, and they thumped us. And, the tables have turned. Marshall's football program and Miami's football programs have been going in two opposite directions. And 50 years later, you do not see Marshall take their foot off the gas against Miami of Ohio.
Yeah.
They will pull their starters against any other team. Against Miami, it's no. If we can beat you by 45, we want to beat you by 75. And that's the thing. And that becomes the struggle looking down the road when you're a team that could have easily taken a knee down there.
Yeah.
And decided instead, no, let's put one more score on the board. That wasn't necessary.
Yeah, and I will say I'm gonna transition just a little bit, shift gears here a little bit. And I'm not saying this would have made any, I'm gonna say hill of beans a difference here in the first half, but I think you really felt with Eli Thim's injury there. I think you kind of just felt this stadium and the Bryan team and fans like that's a moment that. You just watch one of your brothers just get carted off the field, in
an ambulance.
In an ambulance, and that's really a tough thing to see as a 14 to 18-year-old. I mean, at any age, it's tough to see, but especially for kids like that, you just don't know how they're going to respond. You can't fault them for responding, how they have. It's a tough thing mentally to watch a kid go through that and watch again a brother go off the field like that. So again, prayers for Eli Thim and his family, and prayers for a speedy recovery. We have not gotten any updates on his injury, so.
And if you take a look at when that happened, we were playing Liberty Center play for play.
Yeah. Yeah.
They had the no score on the drive, on their opening drive. We drove and didn't score on them, and then we get the ball back and Thim goes down, and it has been a downhill.
Yeah, all Liberty after that. Again, like I said, does it make a hill of beans a difference? Maybe not. But again, I just felt like you felt the collective, just the air, the air just kind of come out of the stadium and the Bryan football team after that moment.
And again, it's football. Injuries happen. You look at the Golden Bears, and injuries have been a big part of our season. Hunter Watson's out.
Yep.
Cooper Beltran hasn't played yet this season, who is our starting right tackle. Cody Schaefer, hasn't played for 3 weeks now, and he's on, still on crutches tonight.
Yep.
Injuries happen.
Yep.
But not injuries that require the squad.
Yep.
And so that is a different animal for these young men. And so, yes, prayers definitely for him. And like I said, if we get an update on his condition, we'll be sure to pass that along. The Marching Tigers are wrapping up their halftime show. We're going to take it away for another break. We'll come right back with the Marching Golden Bears and their halftime show. And again, here at halftime, 42-0 Liberty Center.
The Bryan Park Parks and Recreation Department would like to wish the Bryan Golden Bears good luck in tonight's game. The Bryan Parks and Rec offers a wide variety of classes for you during the entire year and an array of sporting events all year long. Check out what the Bryan Parks and Recreations Department has going on at bryanparksandrec.com or like them on Facebook. The Bryan Parks and Rec hopes to see you in one of the many parks that Bryan has to offer and enjoy the facilities. Questions about the classes or rental of one of their facilities, call 633-6030.
Welcome back here to Golden Bear Stadium. Let's take a look at scores from around the area on this rainy Friday night. Tenora has scored on Antwerp 7-0. Defiance up over Kenton 28-21 at the half. Van Wert St. Mary's 14-14. Looking around the Williams County area, Eden 22, Montpelier 12 in the second. Edgerton 26, Ayersville 7 in the second. Looking around the NWOAL, Delta 21, Swanton 0. Patrick Henry all over Wauseon 26-0. Archbold seems to have found their way after the comeback win last week, leading Evergreen 14-7 in other games from around the NWOAL here tonight. I looked at that Archbold team early on, and they started slow, hit a couple bumps, had to make the comeback to win last week, and maybe they seem to have found their stride.
I think they have.
It's what you hope from this Bryan team. On the road next week to Evergreen, on the road to Swanton 2 weeks in a row.
Well, and that's the thing. You take this again here in the second half. We'll see what happens. Again, I think I hate to say this one's kind of put away at this point. I don't want to say that necessarily, but it's 42-0. Okay, can you get a dub against Evergreen, Swanton, and then see what happens against Wauseon and Archbold. Okay, kind of build some momentum. Never know what can happen.
Never know what can happen. And it's time for the Marching Golden Bears, and we're going to send it down to the field for our halftime show on the Golden Bears Sports Network again. 42-7, Liberty Center over Bryan.
Bryan Marching Band is taking off in third tone for tonight's halftime show. We open our show with the Batman theme from the original motion picture in 1989. This soundtrack has a dark tone representing the Dark Knight himself. Here is the Bryan Marching Band's show opener, Batman. next chart is one of the most recognizable and powerful pieces in musical theater. The opening sets an ominous mood, creating a dark and mysterious atmosphere with a dramatic organ riff reminiscent of Gothic horror films. The song progresses and gains its epic modern edge, hoping to highlight the emotional intensity of the Phantom's world. Here is the Bryan Marching Band performing the title song from the 1986 musical, The Phantom of the Opera. Our closer is considered one of the greatest pieces of music in the entire Star Wars saga. It plays during the climactic lightsaber duel between Qui-Gon Jinn, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Darth Maul. Its fast-tempo, dramatic strings, and pounding percussion captures the dark, intense conflict between the Jedi and the Sith. Here is the Bryan Marching Band performing John Williams' Duel of the Fates from Star Wars Episode 1.
if you didn't hear that on the press box, it is the last week to buy the Bryan band card. So make sure you get those this week if that's something that you want to do. We're going to take our last break of the halftime here from Golden Bears Stadium with your score, Liberty Center 42. Your Bryan Golden Bears, nothing on the Golden Bears Sports Network.
Here at the Williams County Veteran Service Office, our mission is plain and simple. We are here to serve our local Williams County veterans and their dependents. We are staffed with trained service officers who have the compassion and understanding to assist their fellow veterans in obtaining all federal and state benefits that they have earned. Additionally, we provide emergency financial assistance and transportation to VA medical centers. So if you're a veteran or a dependent of a veteran, stop in today and see how we can help you at the Williams County Veteran Service Office.
The Bryan Athletic Boosters would like to wish all the student athletes the best of luck in all their sports this year. The Boosters are proud of your commitment to becoming Bryan built. It takes a lot of time and dedication to play sports and be the best student you can be at the same time. Good luck this year. The Bryan Athletic Boosters would also like to thank all of their corporate and individual patron supporters this year as well. It takes everyone to make a community and to become Bryan built.
I'm Tom Turnbull of Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory. Family owned, family focused, celebrating our 100th anniversary, 2022.
It's great working with family. The relationship we have with one another allows us to focus on your family and help guide you through the planning process.
We focus in on your family's needs to make sure that everything is done the way that you and your family want.
Right now, our family wants a Golden Bear victory.
Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory. Family owned, family focused.
Welcome back here to Golden Bear Stadium, the light show. As we come out of halftime, I'm thinking that this would be really, really cool if we could do that while we were on offense and Liberty Center couldn't see a thing that we were doing.
If only that was legal.
Turn around and be like what was it? The NBA movie with Bugs Bunny and all that with Michael Jordan. Space Jam.
Space Jam,
yes. Space Jam. Then suddenly you turn around and it's like, oh, how did he get in the end zone? I never knew the ball was snapped. That's the whole idea. Halftime, 42-0 in the first half. In a second quarter, let's be honest, a second quarter that was all Liberty Center. Bryan played a good quarter in the first quarter, held Liberty to 14 points, and 7 of those were at the end of the quarter on a pick six. So you played them for most of the quarter, 7-0. And again, the backbreakers, one big play. But that second quarter, Bryan just could not get Liberty Center off the field.
Yeah, well, and that's what good teams do. Okay, when they sense that you're down, reeling, they got the momentum. Put the foot on the gas, brother. They just put the foot on the gas, and they take advantage of their opportunities, and that's what they did.
They did. And, they put the ball on the turf twice, recovered both of their own fumbles.
Yep.
And, that's what good teams do. Good teams find a way to win.
They find a way, and they kind of do so maybe sometimes a little bit. I wouldn't call it methodically. But it's like all of a sudden you look up and you're like, oh, it's 42-0, and
right.
Maybe it hasn't felt like 42-0, because it's like every play is 9, 10. It's not home run, home run, home run. It's
right.
We're instead of 3-4 yard plays, it's 9, 12, 15, 8. And it's chunk.
If you look at their scoring drives, against Fairview, 1 play drive, 2 play drive, 1 play drive,
Correct.
2 play drive, and here tonight you're looking at
You got 3 minutes of possession, 2 minutes of possession, 3 minutes of possession. You got a couple, the 54-yard TD run that was big play, and again that was 2 plays post injury, right? So you go injury, 2 plays post touchdown. Again, Bryan's reeling emotionally, mentally. Again, that's the place. Okay, now they sense that, and guess what? Again, step on that gas. And that's what you saw there in the second quarter.
And so here we go. As has been a thing in our last couple of games, this is a running clock in the second half. So the clock will not stop for incompletions, out of bounds, first downs. It's going to stay running for the second half. Unless Bryan gets within 30.
Yes, then then it would go back to a non-running clock. So a couple touchdowns, and the Bears would get rid of the running clock here. And at this point, if you're the Bears offense, just string together a couple good plays. Play here, play there. And again, keep with this one kind of unseemingly or seemingly not in doubt at this point. Seemingly kind of put away. And I know we got a whole half of football left to play with the running clock. Makes it kind of tough. Just build some momentum heading into your last 4 games of the year that are very winnable games. For the Bears.
For this Golden Bear team, they started out with first down, low line drive kick, going to be taken by Wallace at the 30, wrapped up to 35. That was a sharp line drive to shortstop.
It sure was, and he just kind of stuck right in his gut. Not that he wasn't expecting it, just kind of stuck there, able to cradle it, and give the Bears, I'm going to say, actually their best starting field position since their first drive of the ball game.
And for those speaking of baseball, our score from up north, once I bring it up, the last I saw was 2-1 in the bottom of the 7th. 4-1 now, Detroit, bottom of the 7th. Looks like the Tigers are going to clinch tonight. 4-1 over the White Sox. 1 receiver far side of the field, 2 receivers to the short side. And it's going to be a handoff to Damian Wolf up the middle, and he goes nowhere. Wrapped up immediately on that play. Hit by Giesecke. 6'2", 265-pound senior. When he hits you, you know you've been hit.
Oh, for sure.
Loss of 1 on the play for the Golden Bears. 2nd down, 11 to go. Back to 3 down linemen for the Tigers. Looks like the rain may have let up. Little lull in the rain action. And we're going to get a timeout, Bryan?
Yeah, we sure are, partner.
Timeout, Bryan. I think there was a little confusion coming out of the huddle.
There sure was. We broke the huddle and just like everyone's kind of looking at each other like what?
Yeah, what are we doing?
What are we doing here? We're just kind of just not on the same page there.
You don't like taking a timeout 2 minutes into a half, but let's be really honest. It's 42-0. You got a young team. The last thing you want to do is a mistake that makes it 49-0 really quick.
Exactly.
So, good timeout by Coach Staten. Let's talk about it. Let's figure out where we're at and what did we mess up there coming out of the huddle, and let's just regroup.
Yep, absolutely. And now with the rain not coming down, looks like really much.
It's a misty one, but it doesn't look like it's coming down at all.
Yeah, just, again, if you're the Bears, just go, execute your offense and see what happens.
Temperature here in the second half down to 67 with a winds calm down to 17, still gusts of 25 to 30. Again, 2 receivers to the short side, 1 to the far side, tight end in, trying to get Damian Wolf around the right side. Really, really nice tackle that time. Tackle Hammond Tree on the tackle.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll...
Just a nice submarine tackle as he shot the gap. And
yeah, I was going to say that was a heck of a blitz. I think that was 63 I saw come on the blitz. Stephen Brogan?
Brogan.
I would say that was a great blitz. Just blows this play up, and see if we get it again. Yeah.
Brogan in there. And
yeah. I don't even know if he was blitzing. He just kind of blew that play up in the backfield and allowed the Tigers defense to swarm there. 3-by-1
for Bryan. 1 receiver to the top side. Looking for the screen, gets the screen, well read by the Tigers. Coming in on the tackle would be Zeiter, who read it well. And Giesecke going to bring up 4th down and 15. So even the completed pass didn't go the right direction.
Yeah, backwards another 2 yards for the Bears.
Fourth down, 15 for the Bears. Ball at their own 30. Duran into punt. With the wind out there, the back's only 30 yards downfield. Gets a little knuckleball, hangs up, fair catch, just over the 50-yard line at the 47. Liberty Center comes out 8.5 to go here in the third quarter. New quarterback in for the Tigers, Max Perry, a 6-foot sophomore.
Yeah, so we're going to see a whole host of new Tigers out on the field here. Looks like their whole second-team offense.
Going to run motion. Handoff's going to go up the middle. Duran on the stop. Tyler Roars on the carry for Liberty Center.
What do you want me to do with all the new players? I don't have enough room for all of them. They've all got
Break the huddle.
give it all to one guy.
Two backs in the backfield. Handoff is going to go out over the left-hand side, around the outside. Weber with an ankle tackle, saving a touchdown. Isaac Orth on the tackle, or on the carry, for a Liberty Center first down. Orth gets outside, and Weber just saves the.
Yeah, it could have been another
Could have been another
touchdown-saving
touchdown.
tackle.
Slot right, receiver to the right, strong left, two backs in the backfield. Now they're going to go motion, and they're going to hand motion. Play gets broken up as there's a collision in the backfield.
Yeah, so that one just never really got off the ground from the jump.
Wolf with a big tackle for loss on the play. Your quarterback ran into the motion man.
Yeah, sure did.
Second down, 19 to go. Wing T, you're bringing motion this way. And again, mixed up in the backfield. Going to be another carry for Perry. Carter on the tackle for the Golden Bears.
And see, that's a thing here for the Tigers. Okay, they got a couple mix up with their young guys in, but guess what?
They're getting real game time on Friday night.
They're getting real game time experience when the score is in hand, and they're I want to say afforded to make those mistakes and not I want to say lose the ball game, right? And they can work through those things.
And on Saturday when they get together for film, they'll be able to break this stuff down. A pitch is coming this way, over the left-hand side. Carry is going to be by Roars. Going to bring Connor Hogan on the tackle, bring up 4th and 15. Good to see their punter. After going to the Marshall-Ohio State game last week, I wasn't sure if Ohio State had a punter until midway through the fourth quarter. Was thinking the same thing here tonight about Liberty Center. Do they even have a punter on their team? Left-footed punter, and he's going to boot that one. It's going to get into the end zone. Golden Bears will take over their 20.
Yeah, I tell you what, I may be a biased Ohio State fan, all right? I will fully admit that, but I think that Ohio State offense is for real.
The Ohio State offense is for real. It's like I was telling you before the game. If you've got the athletes and you want to know how to play Ohio State, watch the Marshall film. The coaching staff had the exact right system in play. They had the right program. Guys were in the right place to make tackles.
Yep.
They just couldn't make the tackle.
Yep.
You know, and the thing is one stiff arm, one juke, and nobody was going to catch them.
Yep.
That offense is for real. Snap comes back. Going to be a handoff up the middle. Wolf spins out of one tackle, doesn't get much. We're going to give him about 2 on the play. 4 minutes to go here on your main stops of Northwest Ohio scoreboard.
And I tell you what, it's a tough 2 yards, a tough sledding 2 yards. There's not a lot of running room. It will spin free just to make kind of something out of nothing there from Damian Wolf.
Second down, 8 to go. Bryan breaks the huddle. And again, a little bit of confusion breaking the huddle for the Golden Bears. Line gets up. 2 by 1. McGill takes a snap. He's going to roll. Looks, little pass out in the flat. Caught by Wallace. Fumbled. Looks like the Golden Bears jumped on it. Bryan got on it. Complete pass, fumbled, recovered by Wolf. Third down, 3 to go for the Golden Bears. Ball at the 27. Inside 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter. And once again, junior cheerleaders out tonight. All of our camera crew, junior high kids, as we're working to get this to be a student-run operation. And so a huge thanks to them for all that they've done. Flags come in from everywhere. Runs enough for a first down. Let's see what we get.
Personal foul. Big fast. Defense. First down by penalty measurement.
Another 15-yard penalty for Liberty Center.
I'm going to tell you what, one thing that Bryan can hang their hats on tonight, Liberty Center has 50 penalty yards. Bryan,
none. That's a good
0.
night. It's a good night.
We normally don't have to be a middle school principal during this either.
Going to be a pass over the middle, juggled, dropped by Carter Dominic. Had it. It was right there. Got a step. Carter's going to tell you that's one you got to bring in.
Yep. A little bit high, but
high.
Definitely one that Carter would like to have back there.
And this running clock, things are flying through this third quarter. 1:20 to go. Score still 42-0 Liberty Center. Breaking the huddle. Snap, roll, blitz is coming, gets out, pass is complete in the flat. Caught by Weber. Good for about 6 on the play.
Yeah, just a nice little simple pitch and catch here. You'll see it on replay. This little 5-yard, make a guy miss. 3-yard completion, make a guy miss, get forward for another couple yards. Definitely is a good thing to see there if you're a Bears fan.
And it's amazing what having just a little bit of time does.
A little bit of time, a little bit of separation, out wide too. Time, space, positive game. Sets up a third and medium here.
Third down, 5 to go. Inside 30 seconds. Roll. We got flags coming everywhere, and this one's going to come back.
It sure
nice
is, partner.
Completion to Damian Wolf down to the 30-yard line. Best play of the night for the Golden Bears is going to get, I think, taken off the board. Looks like flags.
Yeah, I'll say 3 of them came flying out right in the area of holding. And
you just had to say we had no penalty yards, didn't
I know. We'll get the call here from official. I should have learned my lesson.
You did.
From was it last week or maybe a couple weeks ago? I forget what I had said, but I said something, and like 3 minutes later, it happened.
It's a broadcaster's jinx, and that's going to bring us to the end of the third quarter. We're going to keep it here for this third quarter break, and a thanks to all of our sponsors out there who keep Golden Bear Sports going all year long. The Bryan Athletic Boosters, Bryan Parks and Rec, Northwest State Community College, Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, Veteran Services of Williams County, Andres O'Neill and Lowe, the Daniel Van Atta Agency, Krill Funeral Home, Starks Plumbing and Heating, and the Thiel Supply Company. Also, Welling Construction, who sponsors all of our replays, Oberlin-Turnbull for our pregame show, and also for our main stops of Northwest Ohio Scoreboard, and for the WBNO, WQCT crew who keep us on the air all year long. You get a nice play, gets taken out by a penalty.
Yeah, it would have been Bryan's best play of the night, I think. From a yardage perspective, just a nice little pitch and catch, and the hold, and negates all that.
Instead, you go to 3rd and 15 now from a 1st and 10 down near the red zone. 3 receivers to the short side. Looks like we're going to go to the short side. We got a double move. We got a pass over the middle just out of the reach of Cade Carlin.
Yeah, and just kind of in between 2 receivers there. Bryan, you kind of had, I'd say pick your poison there. You kind of had 2 guys open, darting across the middle there. Gone on all verticals there, and just kind of threw it in between 2 guys, unable to make a play on it.
That's going to bring up Jacob Uran out to punt for the Golden Bears. If Uran's got the wind at his back this time, let's see what he does with it. He had a 73-yarder, then a 29-yarder. Let's see what he does with this one.
Yeah, let's see if we can pin this one inside the 5-yard line.
Because those flags on top of the goalpost are moving pretty good left to right. Snap, the punt. Nice punt. Going to be taken, going to be dropped, and I don't know if he touched it or not. What are they calling? They're calling a touchback. I
think he touched that football.
I do too. We've got a discussion going on now. Bryan's holding their hands up for a touchdown.
I think there's a legitimate argument there. It's tough to tell up here. It looks like he touched it, but they got a much better view down there. Bryan definitely recovered that in the end zone. We'll see what they call here.
The question is going to be in the officials' eyes, and they're going to say it's touchback.
And again, I'll just say this: I don't think that's the right call, and it will make 0 difference in the outcome of this ballgame.
No difference at all.
No difference. But for Bryan, it's a little.
That would have been an emotional boost.
It's an emotional boost. It may be a moral victory, something heading into next week. Kind of hang your hat on, like, hey, we got on the board, because quite frankly, Bryan has not been in the end zone. For going on 3 weeks.
Going 3 weeks.
So to get in the end zone, that's a big deal for that team. For the Bears.
And we've said for 2 weeks in a row that the thing that the Golden Bears need to do is score any way they can, and that would have been a big one.
Yeah, it's just a big thing for the psyche of those kids. To hey, we're back in the end zone. We can do this.
We can score,
right?
And I agree. I think that was a bad call, but they're human too. Another first down. Pitch is going to come this way. Going to get to the edge. Nice tackle that time, firing in. Was shock Anthony Weber making another tackle.
Making another play. He's kind of been flying all over the field all night and really all year for the Bears, making tackles from his safety spot.
And again, the future's bright. He's only a sophomore.
Yep.
Second down, 4 to go. A little false start on the play. If it had just kept his motion going and not tried to get back into his stance before he started his motion,
he'd have been all right.
Okay. The wind is picked up, and the ref lost his hat.
I'll say it's just how windy it is out there tonight.
It is. Takes it to second down and 8. 8 minutes to go. Run is going to go up the middle. Going to make it 3rd and 5. Alex Ridgway on the stop for the Golden Bears, as we're rotating in a bunch of our younger players. Pitch is going to go wide to the right. Uran chasing him down from behind. Big hit. Ty Jackson on the carry. Vincent Taylor on the stop. Going to bring up 4th down and 2. Going to bring out the punting unit as we roll around under 7 minutes to go here in the ball game. 42-0 Liberty Center. The snap. The lefty punts. Up in the air. Fair caught at the 35. First down for Bryan after Weber's fair catch. Looking at the other scores. Eden Montpelier still 22-12. Edgerton 39. Ayersville 7. Defiance 34. Kenton 21. Evergreen over Archbald 20-14 at the half. We're on the road to Evergreen next week.
Said Evergreen over
Evergreen
Archbald?
over Archbald,
Wow.
20-14. St. Mary's 28, Van Wert 14. Van Wert's going to drop to 1-5 after beating us
Wow.
first game of the year. PH over Wauseon 26-0. Delta over Swanton 21-0.
Say Swanton keeping that one. I mean, within 3 scores.
Yeah. Yeah, Swanton keeping things close, but Evergreen over Archbald, a little bit of a surprise. Handoff going to be up the middle. Ross on the carry for the Golden Bears. And folks, get used to start hearing some of these names. Get used to hear the Caden Ross, the Easton Kerrs. These are all a bunch of freshmen. And yes, they're getting time here in mop-up action late in the game. But these are kids who have got meaningful minutes during the season as
for
well.
Sure. Yep, absolutely.
Easton Kerr got a start at wide receiver. He's played a lot of safety. A lot of these young men are getting opportunities to play. Going to be Ross up the middle again. Going to drive the pile forward over the 45 to the 48 for a first down.
Yeah,
nice hard run.
Nice hard run. Drags a tackler for a couple yards. These are the runs you like to see from the young guys. Again, who cares if it's in mop-up? This type of experience will eventually pay dividends for the Golden Bears.
And it's twos versus twos. So I have no problem with our guys out there running hard, playing hard.
Absolutely.
Twos versus twos. Speaking of twos, you got 2x2 set. Slots each way, back in the backfield. McGill back to pass, gets it out in, looking for, I believe, Cole Carlin that time. Well, I figure I can say it since the press box did. All over him was Caden Murdoch. I thought he had a little bit of jersey there, partner, but
It's close.
It's close.
It's close.
It's close. Second down, 10 to go. Golden Bears clock running right at 4 minutes to go in this ballgame, 42-0. Liberty Center. Little mix up outside. Finally, guys are trying to get set. There they go. Get themselves set. Ross up the middle, and here comes a whole swarm of Tigers. That play kind of looked a little doomed from the start with a mix-up on the outside.
Sure did. Yeah, no, didn't know. I say receivers were trying to figure out which one was on the line, which one wasn't, trying to get the other guy set up. Good recognition by Rep McGill to recognize, hey, they're not set up out wide yet, because a lot of times as a quarterback you look left first, then right, and you see
he just took his time, let his guys get set, and I think that was a good play, like you said, not to get a penalty. Didn't have to waste a timeout, didn't have to take a penalty. McGill back to pass, going to roll, and he's got nowhere to go, and he's going to get wrapped up and brought down. And once again, a coverage sack. There's part of it that you look at it and you go, and I know we've talked about this before, partner, there's high school open and then there's college open.
Mm-hmm.
And, if you want your guy to have a yard in high school, a step in college, and then there's NFL open where I don't care if you got a step. If I can see your number, you're open.
I'm throwing it. Yep.
And, there's part of me that's wondering on a couple of these if there's a difference between middle school open and high school open.
Yep.
That he may have a guy, but he's just not confident enough that that's enough space to fit the ball in and takes the sack. Which, again, is stuff they'll point out to him in film, and it'll be, a good thing going forward. That another punt drop on the ground, picked up, out of bounds. Liberty Center will take over just outside their own 20, which will probably be the last couple of plays of this ball game. And just out over the press box here, all of our video board stuff All of our camera work tonight done by junior high students as we try to expand the GBSN to be a student-run organization and get all them some broadcast time and everything else. So hats off to Chris for bringing the program together, and hats off to our young folks who have done a really good job here tonight in what have not been great conditions.
Face pass, defense, 5 yards, penalty, brings up first down and 10.
First down, Liberty Center, 1 minute to go in this ball game. Be the last play of the ball game. Looks like Liberty's going to take a knee. And that's going to do it, as this clock is going to roll down. They may have to do it one more time. There's a 5-second difference between the play clock and the game clock. And that's going to do it. That's going to bring us to the end of this one in a game that was running clock in the second half, but the second quarter was all Liberty Center. 14-0 at the end of one, 42-0 at halftime, and that's the way it ends. 42-0 Liberty Center over your Golden Bears. Liberty Center goes to 6-0 on the season. Your Golden Bears go to 0-6. Bryan on the road next week at Evergreen. And looking at where Liberty Center is next week.
At PH. At PH.
So
that'd be a big game in the NWOAL.
Big game. NWOAL, pretty much the NWOAL title,
more or less,
is probably up for grabs next week, unless Delta has something to say about it later in the season. But that's going to be a big one next week on the road in Hamler, on the grass at PH. And if we get rain like this that they're calling for all week long, that could be a fun one.
Yep, I could see that being a 14-10, not more than maybe 3 scores, 21-14, type slug it out, rock 'em, sock 'em, type of ball game from the Tigers and the Patriots. I mean, we witnessed them back-to-back weeks, right?
Yes.
And things that both teams really do well. They're good on offense, don't get me wrong, but their hallmark for both of them
is defense.
It's their defense.
Their defenses are both just phenomenal.
And you're not going to see a lot of, I'm going to say it, just to be honest, a lot of great throwing of the football from either team offensively. It's ground and pound, be a little creative with how they,
try to get some wrinkles, some counters, some traps,
and then hit you with a pass up over top, kind of catch you napping a little bit when as a linebacker you're reading different keys and you see run, and then it's play action pass up over top. So that's the deal there. But these two defenses, I mean, bar none, the best two defenses in the league, and two of the best defense probably in the area. They're just they play fundamentally sound. They're gap sound. They fly to the football, and they hit you hard and they smack you in the mouth. And that's what I've seen from both PH and Liberty.
The one thing that I think that I saw a little bit different is the PH defense is truly one of those that they put their best players in position to make their best plays.
For sure.
Where this Liberty Center defense just comes at you.
Well, it's a holistic approach.
Yes,
it is
literally
holistic. The
yeah.
whole team. It is everybody.
Yeah.
Swarms to the football.
It is absolutely. I think that says it best. It is one of the more holistic approaches in football because it's just everybody's coming all the time, and you don't know where they're coming from.
Yep.
That's the problem. Is with both of these teams, they've got such great line athletes at linebacker.
Yep. That
you don't know who's coming and who's going, and by the time you figure out who's coming and who's going, they're so fast, they're by you.
Yep.
It's like, I've got this guy. Oh wait, he's just crushed my quarterback.
Yep.
And that's going to be it. I think that it's going to be it's going to be a heck of a ball game. Take us with you next week on the road on your phone. Watch us, but if you can get a seat at that game, that's one to go sit in the stands and try to watch.
Absolutely,
because that's going to be a good ball game.
Yep, and for the Bears tonight, again, you've played the toughest two teams in the league in back-to-back weeks. Okay, you knew they were going to be dogfights coming. They're both really good ball clubs. Okay, you regroup after the last couple weeks. You don't want to belabor a point. You've been held out of the end zone for 12-plus quarters, at this point. Going to next week, you're going to have a good week of practice this week, going to next week and say, hey, this is a winnable ball game for us, and just make some plays and see what happens. That's all you can do. One right play after the next, one play, string them together, and we'll see what happens here for the Golden Bears.
And one of the things, it's easy to look at this Golden Bear team and go, oh, we're 0-6, it's over. No, it's not. You know what? We got 4 winnable games coming up, and if you think, I almost want to break into a John Belushi routine from Animal House. Did they say it was over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor? I mean, you want to go there. But if you look, Chris just held up his phone. Tigers clinched a playoff spot tonight, and they were 10 games out, 2 months left in the season.
Yep.
And, they just went out, played fun, played loose, played good baseball, and clawed their way back into it.
Yep, and that's all you can do.
And here's one of the things, I don't want to jinx it like you did with our penalties tonight, but there is a scenario, folks, and it is a long scenario, and it is a wild scenario, and every card has to be played the right way. If the Golden Bears win out, we could still be a 15 or 16 seed, and Chris and I take a long drive across the state to do a 1 versus 16, 2 versus 15 game. Don't want to put that out there into the world, but we've got 4 winnable games, especially with Evergreen beating Archbold tonight. We've got 4 games that are definitely winnable coming up, and so, we're going to hold that out there. We're going to send it away for our last break. We'll take breaks 1 and 2. We'll come back. We'll give you stats. We'll wrap up scores from around the area, and we'll close things out here tonight from Golden Bear Stadium, where your final was Liberty Center 42, Bryan 0.
The Bryan Parks and Recreation Department would like to wish the Bryan Golden Bears good luck in tonight's game. The Bryan Parks and Rec offers a wide variety of classes for you during the entire year and an array of sporting events all year long. Check out what the Bryan Parks and Recreations Department has going on at bryanparksandrec.com or like them on Facebook. The Bryan Parks and Rec hopes to see you in one of the many parks that Bryan has to offer and enjoy the facilities. Questions about the classes or rental of one of their facilities, call 633-6030.
Rooting on the Golden Bears is a tradition that brings us all together.
Just like the sports we love, another tradition has stood the test of time. Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, since 1922, we've been part of the community, supporting you in the moments of celebration and loss.
Just like a team, we understand the value of traditions and the love that binds us together.
So whether it's cheering for a win or celebrating a life well lived, remember we are here for you.
Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, family owned, family focused.
The Bryan Athletic Boosters would like to wish all the student athletes the best of luck in all their sports this year. The Boosters are proud of your commitment to becoming Bryan built. It takes a lot of time and dedication to play sports and be the best student you can be at the same time. Good luck this year. The Bryan Athletic Boosters would also like to thank all of their corporate and individual patron supporters this year as well. It takes everyone to make a community and to become Bryan built.
Discover great job skills training at Northwest State. With over 50 different programs available, there is something for everyone. Providing hands-on training and education is the community college advantage.
STEM is everywhere, like here, behind the scenes of The Walking Dead. STEM can create new worlds on and off the screen. The only limit is your imagination. Get inspired at shecanstem.com.
Here at the Williams County Veteran Service Office, our mission is plain and simple. We are here to serve our local Williams County veterans and their dependents. We are staffed with trained service officers who have the compassion and understanding to assist their fellow veterans in obtaining all federal and state benefits that they have earned. Additionally, we provide emergency financial assistance and transportation to VA medical centers. So if you're a veteran or a dependent of a veteran, stop in today and see how we can help you at the Williams County Veteran Service Office.
Welcome back to Golden Bear Stadium, partner. You got some team stats for us here to wrap this thing up?
I sure do. Liberty Center Tigers, 270 271 rushing yards, 12 on 21 attempts, 12.9 average as a team. No passes attempted in the second half, so finished 4 for 7 for 57 yards and a touchdown. Holding, and then Bryan, 40 yards on the ground, 1.5 yards per carry, 4 for 13 through the air. for I hate to say a whopping total of 7 yards. So very similar story, unfortunately, for the Bears as last week. 72 total yards last week against the Patriots and 50 this week against the Tigers. So, again, looking forward to next week. Against the Tigers had 359 total yards of offense. Bryan had 50. Bryan did lead in time of possession with 26 minutes to the Tigers 21. Tigers had some penalties, and I know Coach Mueller will be looking to clean those up. Heading later into the season. But again, for the Bears, you just got to continue. You got to continue to try to build confidence heading into the last 4 weeks of the season. Take each game one game at a time, and see what happens from there. Like you said, partner.
Well, and you got Liberty Center going into next week off a 70-0 and a 42-0 win. Patrick Henry going in with a shutout of us last week, and they just beat Wasion 44-0.
Yep.
So you got two teams whose defense doesn't give anything up.
Yep.
Elsewhere around the conference, Delta Swanton, Delta 28, Swanton nothing in the third. The other one that will impact us next week and a couple weeks down the road, Evergreen 26, Archbold 14, end of the third. So Archbold's going to have to, if they're going to win, they got to come back like they did last week.
Yep.
Other scores from around the area as we get ready to get out of here tonight. Eden 30, Montpelier 12. That game is in the third quarter. Defiance Kenton 34-27, a shootout at Fred J. Brown in the fourth quarter. Van Wert about to go to 1-5. St. Mary's 49, Van Wert 14. We showed the recipe to beat Van Wert. They're a one-man wrecking ball, and teams figured out how to contain the one man. Edgerton 39, Ayersville 7. That game has gone final. That's our scores from around the area. So let's wrap things up here with a special thanks to Rick, back spinning the dials on WQCT. Krista Brunner is our director, and our engineer, cameras, Taylor Peltz and Wesley Lupo. Bryan Athletics, Nathan Keel, Treese Kuzmal, the Golden Bear Photos, Matt Neff and Stephanie Ponzak. At WQCT was Rick Armentrout. Our executive producer is Chris Malenga, and our producer tonight was John Tripodi, who will be one of our camera guys next week with us as we go on the road to Evergreen. For my partner, Derek Hug, we got one more left, partner. We got to get a win. We cannot be shut out all season long. We got one more to go. Derek Hug, Dave Brobston, I will be back with you next week on Friday night, and we'll be back on Friday afternoon with the Coaches Show.
Soccer game tomorrow, 10 a.m.
Oh, soccer game tomorrow, 10 a.m. right here on the Golden Bear Sports Network against the Fighting Irish of Toledo Central Catholic. Chris sitting here giving me signals and mouths that I'm not hearing a thing that he said. But girls soccer tomorrow against TCC, 10 a.m. here tomorrow. Once again, your final tonight, 42-0. Liberty Center over your Golden Bears. We'll be back with you tomorrow for soccer, all week long for sports, and next Friday night on the air at 6:30, kickoff at 7 from Evergreen. This is the Golden Bears Sports Network. Good night. Stay safe.